1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Arsenal. We are live for Newcastle versus Manchester United, and we are sponsored by Super 6. We've been getting stuck in this weekend as well, so we'll be giving you a little bit of updates on all that. But what an incredible weekend of football so far, and it's hopefully going to get a little bit better with a Manchester United win against Newcastle at St James's Park today. Boys, how you doing?
Not good.
Good to see you, lads.
Terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Couldn't be worse.
We'll talk about you and that
No,
later.
not only that. I'm bottom of the Super 6 league. Everything.
That's
Everything
embarrassing. You're meant to have the most experience.
You are the Graham Potter
the
of
oldest.
Super
You're the
6.
oldest at the table. With all due respect, you should know what you're talking about, and you're dead bottom. Got 0 points.
You can't be telling
You
people they
haven't-
should
I'm
know
above
what
you.
they're
I'm
supposed to be
above you.
talking
No,
I've
about.
you
got
have-
4 points. Thanks very much.
I got
You've
4
got 4
points, you mug.
points. I've got 0 points.
that's
but the night's
embarrassing.
still young, by the way.
Yeah.
It's not over yet. This could all change. This could all
100%.
change today.
I better say, if you want to join our league, we've got 1,200 people in the league at the moment. Join the club with the club S6 is the code to join. We really appreciate you joining. If you
And
want
it's
to.
really worth your while, because if you join, you could win a whole heap of prizes, couldn't you? You could get every single round. They will give out a £100 voucher to spend at Classic Football Shirts. Huge.
Yeah.
Not
So
only
make
that,
sure
though,
that you
as well,
join our league.
You're playing for big money, because if you get 6 correct scorelines, you win £250,000
And it's totally free.
in a round. And even if you fail to get 6 correct scorelines, but you have the best score in a week, not in our league, in the whole game, then you win like $5,000 anyway. So
Amazing.
You're playing not only for the Classic Football Shirt voucher and the club bragging rights, but also for a cool $250,000.
I never play for money, Adam. I'm playing Super 6 anyway before they sponsored the club because I like proving how much I know about football, and I'm getting big scorelines consistently, lads. That's just the way it goes with me.
There was no jackpot winner this week as well. And I think what ended the hopes for that was the Villa result against Chelsea. No one had 2-0 to Aston Villa.
I couldn't believe they were that bad.
Somebody should have had 2-0. Like you both have let yourselves down there not predicting a 2-0 win to Aston Villa.
I thought you'd grind it out. I thought you'd be ugly.
No, that was never going to happen. I obviously said that Chelsea will win the game, but that's because I go heart over.
We're going to get stuck into that later for a lot longer than you can do moaning about it right now. We're going to look at some of the most popular predictions for today's game. What did you boys predict, by the way?
2-1 Manchester United.
2-1 United as well.
I went 1-0 United. 2-1 Manchester United is the most popular result with 27.7% of the people voting or predicting that scoreline. 1-1's also a popular result as well. All very tight, these scores, but no 1-0. They're in the top.
Do you know what I'm surprised we haven't got as well? Do you know what I thought would have been a higher chosen finishing scoreline here? A Manchester United drubbing. Like Manchester United winning 3-0. Manchester United.
Really?
Yeah, I think I can see that potentially happening here.
Not for me. I think it'll be tighter than we expect. I think Newcastle have bounced back a little bit better than, obviously they had a bit of a wobble, 5 weeks ago. I think if Isaac's, looking back, bang on form, he's a massive player for Newcastle. Do you know what I mean?
Cal Freeze is in the chat. That mug thinks Newcastle going to win 3-1.
Yeah, I mean, that come in our Super Six and say it, mate. Say it with your chest. If you think you're hard enough, say
Where's
it with
he in
your
the
chest.
table? I want to see him in the table.
In the bottom of the league.
Shout out to Cal. Thanks for the hoodie, mate. I watched us smash Liverpool in this hoodie yesterday.
Oh, thanks for my hoodie,
thanks
mate.
very much. Well, I'm just saying thanks to him because obviously, it's a lovely hoodie. So shout out to those guys. But I watched us smash Liverpool in the hoodie. Thanks very much.
So you've had it on for 2 days in a row?
Yeah, if you're wearing that yesterday,
you only got it on Friday.
You must have a fast turnaround. That washing machine, wash it dry.
I've got turbo.
Wash it dry.
20-minute turbo, lads. Fuck.
So what,
you only got it yesterday.
I don't hang out washing for 4 hours or whatever. I have a turbo mode. Easy, lads.
So what? So you're telling me that last night, I know for a fact you were out till 4 in.
Oh, not
in the
meantime,
meantime, you've washed and dried that jumper.
No, I wore it for a couple of hours while I was doing my review for the game where we smashed Liverpool. Took it off. Now I'm wearing it here. You can reuse things.
You're a ridiculous man. You are a
beautiful.
And he would have been sweating hard when Salah scored as well.
Yeah.
Imagine that. He would have been sweating hard.
Mate, my armpits were...
Everyone was terrified there, weren't they? Like everybody was just... As soon as Salah put Liverpool 1-0 up, you're just like, what are you doing, City? Please sort this out. And thankfully they did.
It was an incredible performance by Manchester City.
Yeah, it was best of the City. Arguably best of Guardiola's
and
Manchester City.
We have to take our hat off to Jack Grealish.
Oh.
I've seen games where he's been on the ball more and things like that. But I thought he was so influential in that game. Not only his off-the-ball movement, his running, his defensive. Like we've seen, like a couple of minutes before the equaliser, he's keeping one out of his own net. I thought he was absolutely excellent. And when you look at some of the key goals he's scored already this season, he even scored at Old Trafford. I know we won in the end, but that made it 1-0.
Yeah.
If City do win the league, I think Jack Grealish will be one of the key components.
He already is.
He is, but I mean...
He's getting to the point where he's actually the first name on the team sheet alongside Ruben Diaz, John Stones, Edison, Rodri. That's about it. You can kind of rotate everyone else, even Haaland, Alvarez. That didn't feel like a massive drop off yesterday, and Haaland scored 42 goals. Jack Grealish, if you're 1-0 down to Liverpool and you see a guy that is laughing, he's jovial when you're 1-0 down, he bullies people a little bit, he starts fights, it alleviates the pressure. It's just fun. He's having fun.
I'll tell you what actually alleviates the pressure though is putting in a performance like that, the assist, the goal,
the quality itself. Yeah, amazing. But you know what I mean. If you're giving him the ball and you know that he's not going to lose the ball in a million years, and he might draw a foul, push you up the pitch, you could be 4-0 down, and you'll play with a smile on your face.
Yeah, he's a sensational
You want to play
footballer
with someone like Jack Grealish.
Do you know what he needed? I think it's been a long time coming. This effectively it's a seminal moment in the Jack Grealish story. What he's needed for a while is a moment. And I thought it was going to come at Real Madrid and it didn't. And then I thought it was going to come at Old Trafford and then it didn't. Whereas I feel like a 4-1 resounding win, a symbolic win. There was a time when Liverpool,
they had no
City,
Haaland as well.
There was
a match winner.
There was no Haaland. There was a time though when Manchester City and Liverpool felt so neck and neck. They felt such a nip and tuck between the two of them, and they were challenging each other and pushing each other on. Yesterday, particularly in that second half, it just shows you how far away Manchester City now are from this Liverpool team.
Yeah. And I back on Jack Grealish, one of the things that I thought whilst watching the game was whilst he's mixing it up by doing the things that Pep wants him to do, keeping his shape, working hard, pressing, doing all those kind of things, passing the ball at the right times. He also had those moments of Jack Grealish that we know and love.
Yes,
Winning the fouls, dribbling with the ball
Yeah.
across. There was one period, I think it was just before one of the goals, where he dribbled it across the whole defensive line and then released the ball wide and you get the ball in the box.
Yeah.
I just thought that was Jack Grealish.
The way we talked about it in our group, the way he trapped back to stop a Salah cross into Jota, I think it was. He trapped back he must have run 70 yards from our corner. Unbelievable work ethic. He's fitter. I think there's a commentary that actually when he arrived at City, even though he's obviously a Premier League level fit kind of player, a season at City, he's even fitter. He looks so lean. He looks so mobile. And the big thing for many City fans, for many football fans looking at him, that people love stats. They love goals. They love records. He's now adding goals and assists. The numbers are backing up his performances. I could say last season there were some good performances there. If you're getting 3 or 4 goals a season, that's not enough for 100 million quid. If he could end up, 10 assists in all competitions this season, maybe. It's
and the goals as well. And the goals.
Goals are important.
The goals are coming in as well.
The finish yesterday was fantastic. I think if he can get in the box a bit more, look at Phil Foden scoring almost 20 goals a season for the last couple of years in all competitions. Why can't Jack Grealish arrive in the box and score like Sterling did? Remember, Sterling used to be on the end of a Kyle Walker cross on the other side every single time. Leroy Sané as well.
Grealish is more creative than Sterling, so you'd expect him to be putting things on the plate more often than him being on the receiving end.
Definitely.
One of the things that I thought, obviously, Arsenal had a very good win against Leeds straight after that, kind of replicated the scoreline and stuff. Whilst being able to rest Saka, I don't think Saka started, but they had a strong team. Trossard looking good again. But if I was an Arsenal fan and I was in their position, I would have looked at that City performance and thought, this looks ominous.
Completely disagree, Ed. If you're an Arsenal fan, your attitude has to be, don't care. Your attitude has to be.
They do care,
though. I don't think they do, and I don't think they should. I think they would say.
You don't think Arsenal fans felt the pressure? Sorry, just to confirm what you don't think they saw City smash Liverpool?
They would obviously rather that Liverpool had won. But I think that if I were an Arsenal fan, and when Chelsea have been in pursuit of top tier silverware, I have so much belief and faith in my own team that Arsenal have a cushion over City. They have a 5-point cushion when things are level. At worst, the league is totally in their own hands. If they accrue, I think it's 29
in their own hands. But
it's
they
completely
have
in their
games
own
where
hands.
a draw at Anfield isn't the worst result. A defeat against Man City isn't, even with Arsenal in form, it isn't the worst result. And a combination of those results, with City winning their game in hand, would give City the lead.
Yeah.
Like it's, you know
But
what I mean?
that's the point of the
I
cushion.
think you talk as a Chelsea fan because you've seen, you've seen your backs against the wall. You've had a manager sacked, and twice you've gone on to win a Champions League. I mean, that's in recent history. We're talking about Arsenal not winning a major league title for nearly 20 years. There is no experience in that squad. The most recent kind of experience of them fighting for something serious last season, they were 4th for a large part. They should have finished 4th. They had to beat Southampton, beat Brighton. They couldn't do that. They came 5th. So I'm not, obviously the side's much better than that. They're doing incredibly well.
I think
There's
it is a
chance to win the
different
league.
team, though. It's a different. I know
They're way better, of course.
You've still got to put them through, the end of April and May and see how they come out of that. But this does feel like a different team to the one that threw it away against Spurs.
But is it different enough where they can grind out win after win, seeing City get to a level that I think we're at a very, very good level?
They could still finish the season strongly and not win the league.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? It's not. Exactly. It's like I'm saying. Those results, a defeat against.
But you said about a draw at
2
Anfield.
draws somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. You said a draw at Anfield is a good result. It's actually not a good result anymore.
When you are now
exactly.
9 games. If you're an Arsenal fan, you just say 9 games, 9 finals, 9. That's all you've got to do. Focus on yourself. Also, you've got
German.
you've got yourself into a situation. The reason that Arsenal are top of the league, the reason that they have a cushion over you, is because they have been emphatic and practically perfect for the entire season up until this point. What that breeds, and rightfully breeds, is a level of arrogance. They don't need to worry about you. They don't need to think about you. You need to think about them.
Yeah, I think we started this debate in terms of if you're an Arsenal fan. Obviously, none of us are Arsenal fans. We can't speak for Arsenal fans, but I would still be very worried looking at City's ruthlessness. They're fantastic. Arsenal.
No, of course they'll be worried. Of course,
City
Arsenal
just grind it out.
Of course, Arsenal can see a world in which you can grind it out. But I think that they will have so much belief, so much inner belief in who they are, in what they do. You won 4-1. You made a statement. They went, shut up, we did the same thing.
It's worrying even, I think goal difference is a massive factor that it's almost half a point in a title race, as we know, from the Aguero moment, etc. The fact that we got no advantage from putting 4 past Liverpool, historically, is an incredible result for City. And we got no advantage from it. We got
Do you
absolutely
know
no
Well, you
advantage
did really
from it.
because they were
Well, it's a great
always
result, but I'm
they
I'm
were
talking in
always going
terms
to
of
stick loads of goals
mathematical
past
advantage.
Leeds. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
So you kind of preempted that by putting loads past.
for it to be matched perfectly, you think,
Do you-
God,
do
we
you
got nothing out of that game almost.
Do you know why I'm saying that I don't think they should be? I don't know how Arsenal fans are feeling. I imagine that some of them will be nervous and some of them will chime with what I'm saying. But you need something from them. With an Arsenal, if I was an Arsenal fan, I'd just be looking at it and going, if they take 22 points out of the next 9 games, 22,
Yeah.
and that's assuming you do everything right.
Yeah.
If they take 22, they win the league. There's nothing you can do about it. Nothing. Whereas,
No. Because City have got their superior goal difference. If they take 22 points, City can win the league.
no.
Yeah.
No.
City got a game in hand, bro.
Yeah.
8 points with a game in hand.
Yeah, so it goes down to 5. If,
So
if
they
we
win that
beat
game-
Arsenal at the Etihad, that goes down to 2. So if Arsenal kept winning, we kept winning, but we beat Arsenal, they
Arsenal
still win
draw.
the league.
You said
Either
22
way-
points out of
either way,
out
it's
of
in
9
the-
games is they drop 5, right?
22 points out of 9 games is they drop 5.
Yeah.
But
that's
that doesn't necessarily mean it's against them, does it? They could beat them.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. That's true. But let's assume if one team's going to beat them, it's going to be City.
I think we beat them.
I think that Arsenal have been so
I've
good
got a
this
feeling you
season.
slip
It's
up
not to be,
somewhere.
it's not to be arrogant.
I
It's not-
got
I'm
a
not-
feeling
I
you boys
honestly
slip up somewhere.
But they can lose to you. They've got themselves into such a privileged situation where they can go to the Emirates and get beat
win
and
by
win
2
the
points.
league.
Yeah, exactly. They can win everything
That's
except City.
assuming they win every game.
Yeah. If they draw any games,
It does. It's not.
It
You
is.
seem
they go
to
to
just have
Anfield-
it in you. You've got this innate conditioning from Pep Guardiola. In your head, they're winning every game.
No, but I'm on about that's assuming.
but
You
we
said
both said,
Arsenal
yeah.
can go to City and lose that
Yeah.
game. That's assuming they win every other game.
No, because they could lose.
Yeah, of course. City
They
could drop points.
You see what I mean?
But
You're conditioned by
less likely.
Guardiola. You're
Well,
constantly
look at-
saying
that's
City
the
are
point
going
I
to
was
win every
making
game.
about City though. Look at them.
Yeah. We're getting to that level again.
They look.
I'd say the same
You're
about
obviously right.
Arsenal.
You're obviously right.
I'd say the same about Arsenal. Look at them.
If they-
Arsenal
look
benefited
at
by
them.
the fact
If-
that
if
they're
Arsenal
out.
won-
If Arsenal draw at Anfield and lose to City at the Etihad, they've lost the
Can
Premier
I
League
just
title.
point something out? I'm doing this off the top of my head, right? You know how you're going, look at them, look at City, this is the momentum, and it's consecutive wins in the Premier League up until now. Arsenal have more than City. So look at them.
I'm on
Look
about-
at them.
I'm on
No,
about
but that should be the
performance.
attitude of Arsenal fans, what I'm saying. Just look at them. Since Arsenal got beat by City, they won every game. City have won, what, 4 in a row in the league?
Yeah.
First time they've
First
done
time
that this
league.
season.
Yeah.
All right, they've won 7 in a row, all comps.
Yeah.
But I just think that there should be a
I
level
think
of arrogance.
the narrative
from
of
Arsenal.
City's gone under the radar. I think, look, I'm not saying we're going to be treble winners. I mean, it's a historic feat
Possible.
that United have only done, the only club from England to do it at United. We could potentially win a treble this season
I know.
at the business end of the season. That is a reality. So we're not talking about City being this kind of terrible side. We're getting, in the business end of the season, I think we're playing the best football we've seen all season. We've got Erling Haaland to come back. We put 4 past Liverpool without Erling Haaland.
No, the performance from you yesterday,
Grealish and Mahrez coming into form as well.
and
Loads of players.
Guardiola-
John Stones was, honestly,
Oh,
I have to
mate.
say, John Stones
Unbelievable.
is world class. He was controlling the game from midfield.
he's a brilliant
It's surreal.
he's a brilliant player. Do you think that was City's best performance of the season yesterday, wasn't
It's
it?
up there. Yeah, it's definitely up there.
Do you think it was one of Guardiola's best?
Not ever. No, this Liverpool side are so poor. They're really poor. Honestly, I'm not trying to wind Liverpool fans up.
Van Dijk's
There's a
the
moment.
best.
There's
I
a
think you
moment.
are.
I've been telling you.
I'm not. When
I'm
we,
telling you, 20 defenders I can name better than Van Dijk in
yeah,
the Premier League.
when you're talking about the
He's
Riyad Mahrez
going-
moment where
he's-
Riyad
he's
Mahrez
going
peels
out
off
like
Van
a
Dijk
chump.
and
No,
and
that was
doesn't-
Maguire, yeah. I'm going, that's typical Maguire.
You lose
though.
your nut. You lose your nut. Riyad Mahrez peels off of Van Dijk. Van Dijk slows down, doesn't track in, doesn't try and put a
Bends
challenge
over.
in. Exactly. Then Trent doesn't know where Grealish is. He's so overrated, it's untrue. Robertson doesn't track the other guy. Alvarez gets us back in the game. How can you be 1-0 down to Liverpool? And I never felt
You know
nervous.
what I felt sorry for Trent? Yeah. There's a screenshot. No, listen. He makes a lot of mistakes and he needs to take personal responsibility. Clearly. But there's one picture of him way out of position for I think it's the equaliser.
Mm.
And that he's in that position because Van Dijk has dived out of
Yeah,
position.
yeah. There's 3 at the back.
Because Van Dijk's gone so far out of position.
Had to cut
Trent's
across.
cut across with I don't know who the player is, so I'm not going to say. Trent's come across. Look, he should be higher and he should be playing everyone
Yeah.
offside.
Yeah.
But he's only come into a central position because of Van Dijk. It's like Maguire at times. Like
Yeah.
Maguire does that. He pulls out of position. Now Wan-Bissaka's thinking, "Oh my
Yeah,
God, I
yeah,
need to
yeah.
cover."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you end up going, Wan-Bissaka, you idiot, what are you doing? But it's not his
Yeah.
fault.
I know what you mean. Wan-Bissaka's central. The geezer on the wing has got like the freedom of Old
Yeah.
Trafford, and you all go, "Where's the right back?" You're like, "The right back's done his nut over there." Everyone's gone mad at the back.
We are witnessing live the fall of a really. He was a world class centre back in this generation. If
He
you
had a
say-
world-class season.
I think
I
a couple
agree.
of. I think it was a little bit longer than that, in my opinion. I think he was the best centre back in the world for 2 years. That's just my take. We are witnessing.
fair take.
We are witnessing him. His downfall live. I mean, this is like an episode of Succession.
It changes. It's changed everything, hasn't it? In terms of legacy.
Yeah.
Like there was a time I found it incredibly frustrating as well, because I felt like, I know you were on the same bandwagon as me, Ad, but you know, at times you were like holding back the tide. You were kind of going, no, he's not quite. No, he's not better than Rio Ferdinand. No, he's not better than John Terry. No, he's not even better than Tony Adams. And everyone would go, "Well, you mad? He's better than Tony Adams. He's better than Sol Campbell combined." You're like, hang on, no, wait, just
Everyone chill.
yeah. It feels like now that has tranquilo.
Yeah,
That's
same
kind
with,
of
same with Robertson as a left back. I think he's gone under the radar.
Very
He's
good
always
player,
hard-working Scottish lad. Oh yeah, no, mate, he's average.
No, but
He's average,
nobody
man.
ever said that. Nobody had ever said that Andy Robertson was the best defender. To
No,
have
but
ever
he
played
goes
the
under
game.
the radar
He goes-
compared to Trent.
People say he's he's the best left back
Like
in world
Robertson
football.
gets away with it. He makes a lot
3
of
out of the
mistakes.
4, and even Allison coming out for the De Bruyne goal.
He hasn't had a good
terrible
season.
keeping,
Yeah.
terrible keeping. The only defender that I'd sort of put my hat on with is Kanate. He's a good centre back. He's a good. Fabinho's
had a good
lost
season,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Fabinho's shocking.
Yeah, Fabinho's done.
Mate, you're 3-1 down to City. You're chasing the game. You're getting absolutely embarrassed. John Stones is honestly popping the ball around like Johan Cruyff. It's embarrassing.
it was.
And do you know what they do? They bring on Oxlade-Chamberlain and James
Oxlade.
Milner.
Oxlade.
Oxlade-
Yeah.
oh,
Oxlade Neutrino setting a trend. Yeah.
Seriously, just think, like, I don't want Liverpool to succeed.
Yeah.
They've been rivals to us, but
Do you think
they're a
that
great
when they bought,
institution.
those substitutions, did either of you get the impression that was the, what do they call it, the white towel or whatever it's called, the white flag,
Throwing in the white,
throwing in the white towel?
Yeah.
Do you think he was
Died
throwing the
off
towel
with
in?
the white flag.
The white flag and the white towel. He threw the white towel in. Do you think it was like, I thought the substitution? Firstly,
he has nothing left. He has nothing left.
But also the
Honestly,
performances.
these
That
legs.
you
And
feel.
honestly, got James Milner wasn't good enough for Pellegrini. Lads, where were we when Pellegrini was manager? This is like 7-8 years ago.
He was getting booed, Milner, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, well, because he scored
Bro,
a penalty
what
against
about
City.
when,
He scored a penalty against City, 2-2 draw, 2016-17.
Is that when you were
celebrated
crying
like that?
Is that when you were crying in the stand?
Oh, when
Why are you
Mara's
bringing
missed.
that up? You
When Mara's
no.
missed. When Mara's
Lads,
missed.
let's move on now. No, Roy's wound me up.
Do you
now.
know what?
That's
You know
it
what
now.
made me laugh? Yeah, Pep giving it to Simicast, and then Arthur
Yeah.
shaking his hand.
Yeah, Arthur was just there, like, give me a contract, please.
Like, what the hell was all that about?
Embarrassing.
Surely you give it to Pep there. You got to chop
they're
something
mates,
at him.
aren't
He's a loanee. He's a loanee, isn't he?
And they're mates.
I don't think
Jimmy
they,
Cash
they've
should
never
give it.
worked together. You're
But they
thinking Barcelona.
must be mates.
He
What, 'cause
managed,
he-
him, managed him at Barca.
No, he didn't.
You know, he
Arthur?
didn't.
No, he didn't. You're
No, he
chatting
didn't.
gas.
Stokey
How
don't
does the
know that.
I might be
producer not
trusting
know
gas.
that? Arthur was at
Listen, if you're going
After
to
Lewis
interject
Enrique.
over there, I feel like you got
lads,
to be
lads, you've
right.
got access to the internet. It's called Google.
No, but Buvey,
Google, lads.
Buvey, it's fair to-
GOOGLE.com.
Is it not fair to assume that they're friends just because of the reaction?
No, I think Arthur was like, I respect you as a manager. I don't think they're because they both
No, but I don't think Guardiola would do that to somebody if there wasn't like a
I think
pre-existing
football is a
relationship.
smaller
Arthur was
world than we
like that. He was more like
No,
Arthur was like
but
that.
Guardiola, say there was no pre-existing relationship,
Yeah.
it would be a very snide move from Guardiola to do that. If you're mates, for example, if Chelsea score against City and I see you, I'm going to go If I see a City fan who I've never met before,
I thought
I'm
it's
just
more
going
like
to.
mutual respect.
Now, I think what Pep did was he loved the goal so much. He was just like, oh my God, that goal. And he happened to be a Liverpool player in front of him. So he's kind of give it to, like,
Yeah.
did you see that? Like,
Yeah,
did you,
yeah.
like
It
that
was
was
a- it
amazing.
was a
Like, I think he
beautiful
was like,
goal. It was
that
a
was amazing. Like,
beautiful
did you
goal,
see
yeah.
that?
Which goal are you talking about? Sorry,
He's that kind of guy.
That for that equaliser.
the team goal.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable, lads. Unbelievable.
Yeah. No, it was a tremendous goal. One touch. Yeah, it was lovely.
Right. We're getting closer to kickoff, 5 minutes away. We will do the team news if you've missed it just before kickoff. But before we get there, we need to shout out NordVPN. Yes, it's their 11th birthday this year. Over on their website, they have got loads of birthday bonanza bonus deals or whatever you want to call them. And of course, if you head to nordvpn.com/theclub, you will get some exclusive offers because you are a member of the club, including 4 months extra free. 30-day money-back guarantee. Us boys have been getting stuck into it as well. Lads, how have you been finding your experience with NordVPN?
No, it's fantastic. I think everybody needs a little bit of VPN action in their life, don't they? Everybody does need a VPN. So make sure that you head over to NordVPN for all of your VPN needs. It's so good, and crucially, it's so affordable. Listen to this, by the way. You get a money-back guarantee. So for some reason, you try it out, you don't like it, you get your money back. So there's literally no jeopardy. So make sure that you head over to NordVPN and you can link 6 different devices with one account. It will cost you less, in fact, than the price of a cup of coffee in London's fashionable West End. So make sure that you sort out a subscription to NordVPN. And thank you to NordVPN as well for partnering with us. We are honoured.
I love it, and I'm using it to buy our flights, lads, to Ibiza when we win the treble. It's a trip for all of us, lads, that we can all enjoy, Adam, Rory, and myself. But yeah, I use NordVPN to make sure I get the cheapest flights, cheapest trains consistently across the internet, and obviously NordVPN stops things like malware as well. It's the fastest service on the internet of its kind. It's an absolutely beautiful service, so make sure you check them out. The link is in the description down below.
That's a disgrace.
What?
Is that an Unknown Pleasures? See that banner? If that says oh no, it's not. There's a Joy Division album, right, called Unknown Pleasures. And we had a flag made. Chelsea had a flag and some stickers made of Unknown Pleasures, but we made it like the European Cup and we took it to Arsenal, like Unknown Pleasures. It looks very similar to that. But
Joy Division are from Manchester, so...
Joy Division not from Rochdale.
I thought they're from Manchester.
I'll tell you what's not a disgrace, NordVPN.
Great to Manchester.
Yeah.
Thank you for interrupting that, Rory.
I was sorry. I thought that there was plagiarism. I thought that there was serious plagiarism going on at the Gallagher, and I think everybody, even the wonderful people at NordVPN would agree.
You've got Blur, stick to Blur.
No, but the wonderful people of NordVPN would even agree that plagiarism needs to be called out immediately.
That's one of their key points.
Don't plagiarise football tifos. Do not plagiarise football tifos. That is straight from the owner of NordVPN. So thank you very much to
But also, it does help you watch football around the world. Like, when you're on holiday and you want to watch Match of the Day, you can still do it. BBC iPlayer don't work when you're outside the UK. Change your region to UK.
Yep.
Happy days. Even if you're not from the UK, you want to watch Match of the Day. Get NordVPN.
It's a gift that keeps giving.
Yeah. BBC iPlayer, beautiful.
How much you have to pay for football these days?
I've been rewatching Luther, by the way, lads. What
I heard
the film.
The film.
Mate, they ruined it, but the original series of Luther, season 1. Oh my God.
I started Succession, the new series, last night.
I need to get back on it, yeah.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Last of Us as well. Oh.
Never watched a Luther in my life.
You'd like it, mate. Edgy.
Mm-hmm.
Second favourite Luther, though. No, he's not up there with
Luther Van Dross.
Third, maybe Blissett.
Luther Blissett.
Big Luther, Little Luther. There was two kind of eras.
Vouty up front.
Yeah, Big Luther was the best era. Yeah. Give me the reason and all that.
Wow. How's Vouty still playing football?
Martial's back on the bench, so hopefully he can stay fit for a week. And
can we agree mutually? Obviously, I've got so much respect for you, Adam. I think you're a brilliant person. No, I've got loads of respect for you, mate. But can we agree till from now to the end of the season, no more Martial gas? No, please. We can readdress it next season.
I am a lifetime member of Martial.
No, please. No. It's the biggest gas shout I've ever heard from you, mate. Just let Martial go. Let him go to where he needs to be. I will never in the Europa League. That's his level.
Anthony Martial, I will never let you go. Ever.
Because you're my baby.
Boys, we've got a super chat. And it is, who is a past player from your club that you rated but no one else did?
Ramirez. Ramirez is my king.
People rated him. Oscar
not to the level they should.
He felt like he... No, it wasn't him. It was Kalu. Who always scored against United.
Kalu was another one.
Ramirez scored against United once, though, wasn't it? Was it in the Champions?
Ramirez... I can't remember scoring against United. He scored great goals against everyone. Scored a fantastic goal against Man City, actually, where he danced through their defence. But yeah, I love Ramirez.
Strange player, wasn't he? 'Cause he was kind of athletic, good on the ball, but he wasn't
sensational.
Weird mixture of a player.
Really good in a challenge. Like filth.
That chip.
Filth.
No one talks about the chip. Why?
It's one of the best goals. It's one of the best goals that's ever been scored at the Newcastle.
I never see it. On Twitter highlight, I never see it.
They always do the Torres one. They always do the
Torres one.
No, the Ramirez goal.
Mine's easy because of how bad we used to be, but
who?
Sean Wright Phillips. I think he was.
Sean wrong.
He was top 5 wingers in the league for a good season.
He was.
That's why Chelsea spent nearly 30 million on him.
Chelsea spent loads of money on loads of people. It wasn't. Damien
Duff, Sean Wright Phillips.
Mine is
level.
Nowhere near. God, nowhere near.
Damien Duff, Sean Wright Phillips.
Mine is Wes Brown.
Running up and down the wing.
Big Wesley. Better than any centre back any of your clubs ever had. Wes Brown.
See, do you know what I mean? We're trying to do it. How long have we got? How long? How long have we got? Can we put
treble?
a timer on the
Won the
stream
treble?
so I can leave? No, I love Vincent Kompany. I don't want to get defensive. Vincent Kompany.
Turned up Champions League final like Mr. Tears over here.
I can,
That's low.
I can
That's
definitely,
low. That's low.
I mean,
He's
I
in
can-
full kit,
I can-
crying his eyes out.
I can
Shin pads.
definitely think of.
Imagine that, wearing his shin pads.
The
while
game's
everyone else
underway,
lifts a
by the
trophy.
way.
I can think of 10 Chelsea.
What is your
centre-halves
opinion
better
on the
than
shin
West Brom.
pad thing? In terms of him wearing full kit? I never got your opinion on it.
I don't really have one.
No.
I wouldn't
you
have
do.
done it. I don't really. I honestly don't.
What's
I
your
think,
opinion on him
I think
stopping the game to come off?
I
that
think
time,
where
at
what
the end. Remember that?
I think where what
What, in the semi-final?
no
No, in
against
his last
Sunderland.
game
We
at
played
Bridge.
Sunderland at home. That
Took him
was
off in the 26th minute.
that was just weird rather than that was just
Were you
weird.
at that game?
Yeah.
Did you win the
I was
league
just-
that
yeah,
season?
we won the league that day.
Is that-
We'd already won the
Sorry,
league.
was
Did
that
you know it
Conte
was gonna
or
happen?
Mourinho?
It was Conte.
Conte.
Did you know it was going to happen before it happened?
Yes.
So what you
Sunderland, I
you
think
sit
it
with
was-
people that are old school.
Mm.
So what would they say before it
No,
happened?
Terry can't do any wrong at Chelsea though.
Okay.
During the game, like Terry as a footballer can't do any wrong.
So no one really like because if
No.
that was happening, I feel like
No,
most
but
people
nobody
go,
really.
"That's a bit
Nah,
stupid."
you know
innit?"
what you like. I think when you watch a game on telly, you're probably more aware of things like that than like in the game. The number's gone up. Terry's coming off. We know it's his last ever appearance. Everyone just stands up and claps like you would any other sub.
Then the game goes on.
But it was 26 minutes, wasn't
He
it?
did
Yeah.
it on the 26th
I'd
minute,
rather
and he
go
got
the
carried off.
70th minute.
And he got carried off. No, 26 was the number.
Yeah, but I'd rather play a half a game of football at least.
Well, by that logic,
Play
I'd
20
rather
minutes
not
of
come off at all, though.
Yeah, as well,
I'd rather
yeah,
just
yeah.
play
No,
90.
No, but you want 1 minute before at least so that you can get a round of applause just for you.
Fine. But yeah, I didn't mind. Look, the full kit thing, I feel like it's become bigger than it needed to
that's-
be.
You know what?
Been
Where
like
it looks
blown up
bad.
by
Remember,
20.
like when I remember in '99,
When
Keane and Scholes
had their
almost
suits
being
on.
forced to
Had their
like
suits
lift the
on.
trophy,
Yeah.
and they did a lot to get us where we were. And like I remember, like Keane was embarrassed to lift it and that.
Yeah.
And really, he should have
shouldn't
been
have.
running around with his medal on.
Yeah, but
like, you know what I mean? Like,
That's the same for John Terry, though. John Terry did an awful lot to lift, to get Chelsea to the stage where we're lifting a European Cup. John Terry obviously played a huge part of that. Not only that year, it's a cumulative thing, year after year after year, scoring massive goals against Barcelona, and he was at the club for.
but he could have lifted it without putting it like.
No, he
Kit was
didn't
the
need to
kit,
play
yeah,
dress
he
up. I
have worn a suit.
I personally wouldn't have played dress up to lift it, but you can play by your own rules when you win a European Cup. Like I think people don't like it because it's him.
It's not as bad as Aguero, by the way. It's not as bad as Aguero, by the way.
Wait, what are you
running
referring to?
around with Messi at the World Cup like he won it? Don't think we forgot.
Behave.
He's the worst.
David
Who's
Beckham was
worse
doing
in the
similar
chat,
stuff.
Aguero or
If
Terry?
England won anything with David Beckham 2010, he would have been doing the same thing. Remember
Yeah.
David Beckham was
David
this kind of
Beckham
honorary
is-
coach for Capello. How
Yeah, that was-
embarrassing
But
that
do,
was.
do you not think that there's like people don't like stuff like that because I think that people quite enjoy being outraged. Like when we started this segment, you went, "What do you think about that?" And I genuinely said, "I don't really have any strong feelings about it." That's the truth. Like I genuinely don't.
Come on.
I only ask because I think because it happened so long ago. We've never done a video. You know,
No, we've never have.
It's
I don't think we have.
interesting. Yeah,
I don't think we have.
Shall me and Rory try and get that Men in Black thing and then watch the final again live?
Yeah, all the
That'd be
whole
good, wouldn't
it?
the
Yeah, yeah.
hypnosis thing.
Yeah.
What a movie that was. Men in Black 1.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. One man who needs that memory thing from Men in Black is Brendan Rodgers to forget about his time at Leicester City. Well, maybe it was a good time.
Segue.
I think upon reflection, he'll really relish what he did. At
This
Leicester
is, do you
City.
know,
No, he
do you know,
did- he
this
did
is
a
one
good
of
job
those
at
things.
Leicester.
This is one of those things where I get an awful lot of stick because in our
You do deserve
in our
it.
world, a lot of the time I do. But my God, I called this one right.
You
I've
called
called
it right.
this one right for such a long time.
Okay, so whether we agree or not about his legacy at Leicester City, in a practical sense, right now, there's 10 games left in the season for Leicester City. Is it the right call now?
I think it
For
is
Leicester
now.
City, yes.
Because they're 19th in the table as we've done this video.
I think it should have happened a long time ago. I think he's gone past his sell-by date at Leicester. There's nothing wrong with that. I
Yeah.
think maybe the message, maybe his character, his personality just got tiring for the players, the dressing room and everyone
Yeah.
there. I think ultimately he's been a success at Leicester City though. I know we kind of mocked him for dropping out the Champions League spots twice, but like those two fifth place finishes, apart from them winning the league, that's the highest they've ever finished in the Premier League. So winning the FA Cup, you add that into the mix. There's a lot of managers that have had better teams that haven't won trophies,
Yeah.
and we ridicule them for it.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, I think it's been a success, but I think he should have gone maybe at the end of last season. Maybe you could say at various points during that season.
Yeah.
I think he should have gone a long time ago, but I think he has ultimately been a success. and I think he will go on to do similar-ish jobs elsewhere.
I think so. Yeah,
I don't.
I think he's a Spurs manager in waiting. If Spurs want to go down the approach of younger players, go away from this kind of signing the older Perisic's of the world and go back to youth like they did with Pochettino. He's a great example. The big thing for me about his time at Leicester City.
Back to youth. Hang on a minute.
No, but Spurs might want to go back to an approach of signing younger, more progressive players, and Brendan Rodgers has got a good record of doing that. I think that goes under the radar. This is a Leicester City side that had to get rid of Wes Morgan. They got rid of Riyad Mahrez at points.
This is a long time ago.
But there's a lot of transition. That's what I'm trying to say. And they've had to rebuild with Harvey Barnes.
Manchester United are in.
Drewsbury Hall, etc. And Ian Atcher's not lived up to it. I think he's had to manage transition at Leicester City without much money. I think he's done a very good job.
I think everything that you said is true. He has done very well, and he is a good manager. My frustration with Brendan Rodgers is that he is seen as being some sort of oracle. He is seen often as an answer to big clubs when there is a managerial vacancy at top tier clubs. I'm talking top tier. He seems to somehow get his name linked, and he isn't that. Look, he did very well at Celtic. He won a lot of silverware, but ultimately, it ended prematurely. At Leicester, there have been countless examples of where they should have got so much more, and they didn't. At Liverpool, there's an obvious example of when they should have got so much more and they didn't. Ultimately, when it really comes down to it, around this time in the season, his teams capitulate. He's a capitulation manager. Yes, he can do certain things very well. And I think that he is a good manager for a good club, similar to Leicester.
What is
but
that club then?
He is not a top. I think Tottenham would be...
Tottenham's the top of that.
Tottenham would be too big for him. I don't think he's good enough to be.
But then we say, okay, West Ham's a big club, but they're in the relegation battle as well.
Everton, West Ham level manager.
He'd be a good replacement for Moyes.
West Ham level manager. But
you know why he might fit in at Spurs? Because they talk about all this stuff about they want to see a good style of football and all that. He does.
He's had to manage it with no investment for a year. I mean, the owners of Leicester City struggled with COVID. He was there for 4 years, back-to-back fifth finishes. European football.
Yeah, but Buvey, you know when we do this show, you get very frustrated when Adam or I say top lines and make that the case study for the person. You go in top five twice. We are all, and everybody watching this is intelligent enough to go, hang on a minute, both those times, fifth was an anticlimax. Both of those times, they had top four wrapped up. One time in particular, do you know what I remember? I remember doing a show at the time, and during that period, we were debating, and what?
Huh? No, I'm you keep going.
What?
You keep going. I'm not laughing. Yeah? Talk about what? I can carry on. I think he's talking about a Leicester game, obviously a big Leicester game. I'll just these guys are cracking up. I'll just segue very quickly. I think it's an anticlimax if Arsenal come fifth and they're in the top four race. But for Leicester City to come fifth out of nowhere, that's incredible. That's consistent Europa League football for Leicester City is a miracle. I'm sorry. These lads were in the Championship a few years ago. They were in League One.
They were going to go down as well.
Exactly. They had Nigel Pearson talking about ostriches. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? He's got them fifth. He smashed Chelsea in a fine. He's had to manage transition of someone like Kasper Schmeichel leaving the club. The greatest keeper they've ever had, ever will have. He leaves the club, stuff like that. It's a hard one. So
what he made about their owners was good. The point he made about their owners was bang on though. Because during COVID,
they're fucked.
They needed duty free and all that stuff, didn't they? No one was buying their...
Was that true?
Yeah,
was that true?
King Power relied on
I thought it was a tourist thing.
Travelling, all that kind of stuff. They were done in.
Yeah, they overall...
What was your original point? Where did you start?
The point I was trying to make was they should have made it into the top four. And the fact that they didn't on two different occasions is actually
what game was it that they bottled? I'm just trying. I'm not even what are those games that I said about Arsenal bottling it? They dropped points to Southampton, Brighton.
I can't remember sort of specifics of where it went wrong for Rodgers.
But where does it change? Because at the start of the season you say fifth to Leicester City. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Dropping out is terrible. But for a club like, if it's Chelsea coming fifth, if it's Man City with all the money.
No, but this is about expectations, isn't it? Expectations do change.
You've got Ian Hatcher up front, the kid's a donkey.
No, but expectations, Booth, change. The point that I was very
you say Ian Hatcher was better than Rashford, by the way.
He was for 69 minutes.
Do you know what? The point that I was trying to make was, there was a time when Leicester were in the top 4. Like, it was given. Like, I remember debating it, and we go, well, the top 3 is signed off. Yeah, and Leicester were in the top 3. The top 3 is signed off. Leicester have made it, and then it's up to... This would have been Lampard's first season.
Who made it instead of them? Chelsea.
Chelsea, Lampard.
Money, Chelsea.
No, hang on, Buvey. You can't just say money, Chelsea.
Not in a bad way.
I have to say something. It was off the back of selling Hazard transfer ban.
Yeah, but still had a squad that a few years ago won a league.
Team. It was Mount and James.
What we're arguing about here, though,
it was Mount, James, and Abraham that did it.
Yeah, someone like Kovacic in midfield.
Lads, he never got sacked for finishing 5th, though. He got sacked for where he is now. So surely you have to look at why they are where they are.
I'm just using it as an example to demonstrate like a perennial underachiever, perennial failure.
But that's at the top level at Leicester. I think that's acceptable.
5th is not a failure for me. I get what you're trying to say, but if you come 5th with Leicester, mate, there could be a manager for the next 50 years at Leicester City, and if he might not get them 5th ever again.
No, I agree
they
with
might
that.
never come top half.
But they'll never have a better chance either.
They're more likely to be in the Championship in 5 years' time than be 5th.
But
they might never get a better manager than me.
You can't honestly.
He's the best manager they'll ever have.
You can't honestly think that that's the case, because if a team were top of the league if Leicester were top of the league, say with 6 games to go, and ended up finishing 5th, you still can't view that through the prism of success.
So if Leicester comes second in the Ranieri season, is that a failure?
With 1 game to go, it would have been, yeah.
What about how many games? Well, yeah, it was 1 game to go. So yeah, it's an interesting debate. I still think second would be an incredible achievement for Ranieri if that had happened. But they came first.
If you end up in a situation where you have to beat one team to win a title, one team, I'm afraid you just have to do that. I just don't think that Rodgers is capable.
Mate, the guy's a spanner. He's a human spanner that you find at the bottom of the shed. You know all those rusty spanners that you do your DIY with in 2004? He's a rusty spanner. Sorry, we're not talking about the game though. That's what I'm worried about.
Durable. Does lots of jobs.
But look, lovely little nutmeg there. That burn. God, he's done him that.
Go on, Vouty.
That's the same chance.
He's done the same thing. Is this as the game skipped back?
It's a replay, of hitting the side net. Professional footballer can't even hit the target from 5 yards out.
Remote and put 30
it's been a bit end to end, hasn't it? I think Bruno's had a good couple of moments, and it's been a bit end to end. But United,
Bruno megged up Vouty then.
That was embarrassing.
It's not embarrassing.
Sent him back to Burnley.
He pressed, and he got megged. What happens sometimes?
Do you want to keep Vouty Weghorst?
No.
No, but I'm asking Adam.
No,
nobody wants to keep him, though, do they? Like the problem is,
where does he go?
Oh, lovely skills again.
You know, Plymouth are getting promoted. Plymouth Argyle would take him.
Plymouth are getting battered by Bolton at the moment.
By the way, obviously on that Leicester chat, like where did it go from here? The next manager market, Benitez 7-2, then it goes Ange Postecoglou 6-1, Potter 7s, Carrick 8s, Gerrard 8s, then Thomas Frank, Villa Boas, Vincent Kompany.
If I was Carrick, I wouldn't go there.
No, I don't think any of those should. I mean, the obvious one here is Rafael Benitez, because I think Benitez keeps them up. Like, if their priority,
to keep them up.
They don't have the players to play that kind of aggressive football. They got a lot of younger players. Someone like Harvey Barnes, very technically gifted player. He's going to be limited by someone like Benitez for me.
No, but
they're in a really awkward situation.
No, but remember, Buvey, it isn't about the player that Barnes is going to develop into under Benitez. This is simply who keeps them up 6 games left.
No, but look at the style of play he would want to play. Have they got the players suited to that style of play? I don't think they have. Although you could argue that the likes of Tielemans, Vardy, they've all been on the fringes of Rodgers' team. Maybe another manager comes in and gets more out of them.
I think Vardy's got. I've been thinking that for about a good 18 months about Vardy. Maybe there's 10 more goals in him. Mate, the guy's done, unfortunately.
I mean, you should just sign for Wrexham or something, innit?
Go back to non-league football, maybe. Yeah. But,
no, look, overall, they have to stay up. Like, to be the club that they want to be the club that they were building towards being. Like, remember, like, they were seen as a team that were really in the ascendancy, winning the cup, constantly qualifying for Europe, doing fairly well in Europe. To keep that momentum going, they cannot be relegated. And if you're the owner, you're going to be looking at this just thinking, right, how do we stay up? That's the only thing that needs to be answered. Everything else, development, process, all of that comes next season.
They might get relegated based on the fact that I think West Ham are too good to get relegated. Sean Dyche has already gone. Sean Dyche has already gone there. Now that Roy Hodgson's gone, Wolves have replaced their manager. Leeds have replaced their manager. They've acted so late. You think they might get relegated because they haven't moved.
And they've flirted with sacking him so many times.
Yeah.
You know, there've been times where the owners have flown in and he's pulled a win out the bag.
Yeah.
But had they not got the win, they were going to sack him. Like, this is going back to like November times. They were thinking about it. So look, overall,
They can't play Benitez football though, Roars. I mean, Everton can do it a little
When
bit.
you look at the
Tarkowski
list,
or, Sean Dyche.
Like Ange Postecoglou is going to need time. He's going to need resources.
and there's a lot, and it's a lottery. Postecoglou. It's a lottery. He's never done it in the Premier League.
Yeah, I don't
you
like
need to
his
bring
attitude.
someone
I don't
into
like
the
his
end of the
attitude.
season that's going to definitely keep you
But
up.
you know, when you think about all of the people that are potential that we've mentioned there, Postecoglou's been mentioned, Carrick's been mentioned, Potter's been mentioned, but he's in employment. In terms of the people that are available that keep you up, like Michael Carrick.
Oh, yes, David!
Michael Carrick might be a fantastic manager in the Premier League, but there's jeopardy there and they can't take the risk.
Yeah, you're right,
Postecoglou might be a brilliant manager in the Premier League, but there's jeopardy there and they can't take the risk. In terms of who comes in to keep them up now, you know when you're saying Benitez ball effectively, like they have the players to play Benitez ball. Do you not believe that Benitez is a skilled enough manager to work with...
Based on how bad Everton was. I know Everton's a different situation with the money they've spent. It's a bit strange, but they look really poor with Benitez.
But they look really poor with Ancelotti.
Yeah, you're right. Look, I think those kind of that bandwagon of relegation surviving managers, they're all becoming extinct. I think
Who would you? So if you were a Leicester fan and you're desperate for Leicester to stay up, who would you want?
I think Carrick, just because
No,
I
he's
know
not gonna
the
keep
risk.
you up,
I
though.
get the risk.
He needs time.
We don't know that. Yeah, actually, what he's done
Actually,
with
he
Middlesbrough.
turned Middlesbrough around.
Middlesbrough were
immediately.
getting relegated. They were that
Yeah.
bad. They were almost rock bottom.
Different in the Premier League.
I know it's different, but you gamble on the youth. That his youth, his energy, has that
Michael Carrick
10
doesn't
game
take that
impact.
club, I don't think.
No, Michael Carrick.
It's the biggest club he'll ever manage. He'll never manage a higher club than Leicester City. They're a huge
And the
club.
thing is, if he gets Borough up, he potentially gets the West Ham
I don't
job.
think he will.
He
I don't think
potentially
he
gets
will.
the Spurs job.
Yeah,
Clubs that he's linked with or played for in the past.
yeah. I feel
If you
like
think Carrick can go to Spurs, Brendan Rodgers should go to Spurs.
No, I agree.
no, but
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
no,
So-
but do you know
Well,
what
I'm
there
not-
is?
I'm not
Do you
picking a
know?
manager.
Do you know
Yeah,
why?
yeah.
Do you know why Carrick? I think is a very interesting shout for Tottenham, because with Carrick there is an unknown property that could potentially be better than Rodgers. With Rodgers, we know what the ceiling is. We know how good he is. We know what he's capable of. Whereas with Carrick, firstly, being a fan favourite, remember that club have been through turmoil. They never wanted Mourinho. They didn't like Mourinho. He's so Chelsea. They didn't really want Antonio Conte for the person that he is, the style of football, the Chelsea link again. Nuno Espirito Santo was one of the most defensive managers around. I think that sometimes you just need a feel-good manager. And I think Carrick being a terrace favourite at Tottenham,
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. But look, to focus it on Leicester, who do you... they've obviously
to
got
get
someone.
Who do you
No, but
visit?
they've obviously got someone in mind, haven't they? They don't sack him without somebody...
Well, you never know these days.
No,
you never know.
you can't
But
think-
you never know.
Okay.
Who was it that took ages? Was it Everton that took 3 weeks, or it was there was someone that had? They took 2.5, 3 weeks.
I'm lost.
Even Bournemouth didn't have a
What
plan.
about, what about Nuno
Tottenham with Espirito
Espirito
Santo?
Santo?
Nuno...
No, come back and take this job.
No. Not for me.
I'm
Not for me.
scrambling for names.
You need a
bro. I
real
can't think of
unique
an
club
obvious-
for him because you need
Sam
to play a
Allardyce.
back three. I'd bring Big Sam back. I say it every time, but I think he could do a job.
I think the answer to staying up,
If Rory
as much
can.
as I don't like him, I think the answer for Leicester, and put him on a 7 or 8 or 10 game contract, whatever it is, Benitez.
He wants more than that. That's why
He don't take a 10.
he wants a 2-year contract. He does, unfortunately, for his retirement.
Yeah, you can't give him a 2-year contract because you can't go down. You can't go down with him.
No, because he'd want to leave anyway.
He wouldn't exactly.
But he did have Newcastle
Oh!
in the Championship. He was going up and down Rotherham and all that. Bristol City away. Rafa Benitez taking Newcastle around. So
Lee Bruce is available.
Brucey, oh God,
Do you think they go now, Leicester?
I'm worried for them massively. I'm.
Are you worried? Are you
I am
actually
worried.
worried?
No, I am because I think
You're
Leicester
upset,
City are
you're
a Premier League club. Yeah, I'm worried for them. I want to see Bournemouth down, Southampton down. They offer nothing to the league, but Leicester City
I see
offer a
Leicester
lot.
a
To the
bit
league.
like that.
Offer nothing to the league.
No, I see Leicester.
Decent away
yeah.
there. It's not too far out of
Yeah.
it's in the Midlands and all that.
I'd rather Bournemouth go down than Leicester.
Easy to get to in between other things. Midlands.
Yeah, it's convenient for everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
So for that reason
From
alone,
London, Manchester,
yeah, everyone can get
Norwich.
there. And I'll tell you, it's really easy for, say, Villa fans. Villa fans be over the moon.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
There we go.
Actually, no. The less Midlands clubs, the better in the league as well. Actually, no, I'm with you now, Royce. Get rid of Leicester City. The less Midlands clubs, it's boring area. Boring area for me. Wolves, boring as well, isn't it? West Brom, don't want them in the league. then.
It's very.
No, you don't want West Brom in the league.
boring.
I'm from the Midlands. I don't want West Brom in the league.
Yeah,
Stink.
West Brom, I like their ground though. I like the Hawthorns. Proper old.
That's good away.
old school.
Yeah.
Yeah, you won the league,
Good.
though, didn't you?
We won the league.
Yeah.
Yeah, Conte. Yeah, brilliant. Batshuayi.
Fergie's last game there. 5-4.
4-4. Oh, 5-5, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Lukaku.
Yeah.
What a player he used to be.
Newcastle have missed 2 real good opportunities in this game so far. I say missed, David De Gea's made saves as well, although the one that I gasped about while these boys were chatting was maybe straight at him, but you have got to be there to save it from Willock after a good save from a header from Isaac. Newcastle still attacking, United counter-attacking. We've had a few openings, Weghorst smashing one into the side of the net, but still 0-0, 20 minutes gone. After the result between Man City and Liverpool, it kind of took the pressure off both of these teams here today.
Yeah.
And then obviously Spurs go to Everton tomorrow. Yeah. I don't think they'll win that game personally. Without a manager, maybe they get a draw or something. So, a draw isn't the worst result for both these teams.
I think you'll find anyway. I think it's more Newcastle.
A win for United pretty much cements it.
Even though United aren't in the conversation, because I think you're guaranteed top 4. I think if you are a Newcastle fan, you're looking at Liverpool, how poor they were yesterday, and think it's probably just between us and Spurs. They got the games in hand as well. If you're a Newcastle fan, you must be gassed about those games in hand. You can get up for it. I think they could beat you today as well. I think there's a good chance they beat you. They look good today. So I don't know. It's who has anything changed for you in terms of who comes fourth? What is your prediction at the moment?
I've kept flipping between Tottenham and Liverpool, haven't I?
Yeah.
Because I've kind of felt Newcastle would fall away, and I felt that after the League Cup final that maybe their momentum would be halted, and that was a foul.
I don't think it's a foul.
Maybe their momentum would be halted, and that was a foul. And they'd start dropping points, and it looked like that might happen, but they've got themselves back into it. So, I think it's 50-50 between Spurs and Newcastle.
Yeah,
I really do.
I think Newcastle will do it. I think they've got the heart. I think you want to be in the ascendancy. Their recent form's much better. Someone like Isaac is in such good form, so much energy about him. I think he's such an unbelievable player. I think I'd worry for Spurs. How can you sack a manager and you're still in a top 4 conversation? Surely you keep Conte or have a replacement lined up already. Surely, just to give you that kind of the weight behind you to come top 4. It's a bit worrying. I mean, Spurs are a national embarrassment to football.
They are.
For me.
They are, and they have been. I'll tell you who else is a national embarrassment to football. Those boys at pitchside.
Yeah.
And we need your help to beat them. So go over to Super 6. If you haven't already, download the app. It's available on Apple, Android, all that stuff. Go and get it. Join our league, Club S6, all one word, all caps like you see on screen. Make sure you're in. Every single week, if you finish top of the league table for that round, you will win a classic football shirt voucher for £100, £99, 99 I think it is. Someone.
I think it is 99.
Could have gave an extra penny there, but never mind. You could win that, and then obviously, not only could you win that, if you get 6 scores correct, you could potentially win £250,000.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. You can obviously play against us.
So please help us beat Pitchside.
Yeah, that's what. Look, I think you've been very nice about it because you're a nice guy, Adam. I want to smash Pitchside off the park. I want to absolutely annihilate Tom Garrett in the leaderboards. Okay, so make sure you join our league. The Club S6 is the code to get involved. But I want to smash these guys. Please join up and get our numbers. We're at 1,200. I want to see 2K.
Tom and Theo called everyone that watches the club a mug.
Really?
So if you want to get them back, join our league on the Super.
Garrett, the West Brom fan. Yeah, Tom Garrett.
He's a proper mug.
I bet he's got 0 points this week. I've got loads of points, by the way. I'm not going to tell you how many yet. We're still mid-game, but I've got tons of points, lads. It's unbelievable.
Tons of points.
Yeah.
I've seen how many points you've got.
Yeah, I've got loads. It's more than 0.
It's more than
Roars. Roars is paid to have his opinion on football. You know that. He's a full-time football commentator on some level. He's got 0 points in predicted scores for the Premier League this weekend. 0.
It's mad.
My nan's got the same amount of points as Rory. My nan.
Do you know what I do?
People like Matt Letizia sat at home not getting paid for his football opinion, and people like Rory booked every day. It's unfair. You can see why. You can see why he's mental on Twitter at the moment.
Yeah, I don't follow.
Do you know what I'm going to do? Do you know what I'm going to do this week? I'm going to take it really seriously, and I'm going to put the scores in for this round that I truly think will happen, rather than.
Why don't you just be yourself?
No, because what I did last time, I went.
It's very Alistair Campbell to not do your own thing. It's very spin.
I didn't go political. What I did was I kind of suggested the score lines that would come true that I wanted to come true.
Right, yeah.
So I said Arsenal are going to draw with Leeds.
Yeah.
because I wanted that.
That's risky. That's a risky tactic. And
Yeah, because I wanted that to happen. I
Yeah.
said it would be a draw. Whereas this week, I'm going to take it very seriously.
Believe that is going to happen. You say every week.
If I were doing it, if I were putting my life on it, I probably wouldn't have done it that way. Whereas this week, I'm going to approach it like I'm putting my life.
You should be, because you could win 250 grand if you get all the scores right and even the closest goal to decide it. There's been 3 winners of that jackpot this season, which is unbelievable. But if you don't treat it seriously, Roars,
No, I will.
you'll never win the jackpot
I
yourself.
treated it seriously, but I just treated it with desire rather than education.
I know what you mean. I was desperate to put 2-1 lead.
So did you put Arsenal win?
Yeah, I had
See,
to.
that's what I mean. I could never do that in your. I just couldn't
I
do
know,
that.
but it's
I'm
just-
never going to tell you that Tottenham are going to win. I'm never going to
But
tell
I think
you.
I'm
That
going to put Anfield. I think Liverpool are going to win at Anfield against Arsenal.
I think Liverpool beat Chelsea, lose against Arsenal.
That
That's interesting.
that makes
yeah.
sense. I mean, I think that's probably this week, this round. I'm definitely going to put serious thought into it. I'm going to give it the due diligence that it deserves, and I'm going to come up with the correct answers 6 times.
Me and Buvey, by the way, give it the due diligence it deserves every single week.
Yeah,
I spent 6 hours researching all the games.
you did it in a different way.
So
I can't see, but you're
I
not
treat
true to
Super
yourself.
6 massively.
You're not true to
respectfully.
yourself,
Thank
are
you
you?
again for sponsoring the stream.
You're not true to yourself though, because you said that Arsenal will win.
Yeah, I'm true to the fact that I know Arsenal are going to beat Leeds because Leeds are
Yeah,
shit.
but everyone knows that. But I just went with
what I mean?
I just went with what I wanted to happen.
I know what
rather
you
than
mean. I know what you mean.
believed would happen.
What you went with, this would be the perfect weekend. And if I could win quarter of a
Yeah,
million with it as
this
well.
is what I want to happen. And then if it does happen and I win money, that'd be even better. Yeah.
Whereas me and Buvey went for Arsenal probably going to win, so we may as well benefit
Yeah,
from it.
yeah. You did the right thing.
Yeah. So make sure you join us in that league. And we beat Pitchside, the absolute mugs. We got Cal Freezy in the chat saying Pitchside is clear of this nonsense. Listen, this nonsense is taking
What's he
over.
talking about?
Yeah.
Cal Freezy, you're barred from here. You can't
he's not
dislike a
barred.
club that you're not a member of.
Fuck this. No.
Take the hoodie off.
You take the hoodie off.
Take the
He
hoodie
doesn't
off.
get this promo. Yeah, he doesn't get. Launch it. Yeah. Yes, absolutely right. Yeah.
And by the way,
Cal
terrible material. Wherever you get the material from, this is some cheap Primark stuff out here.
Buvey
know what I
wants
mean?
me to pick that up. He's gutted that's on the floor.
Yeah.
He's like, someone please pick that
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Jack, do you mind picking that up, mate? I don't want any dust on it. I've got to wear it home tonight. It's cold out in London.
He's going to wait for the next 2 days as well. Put all these other clothes in the wash.
We got to talk about the game. I think is a bit of a strange game. It's very even. Both sides looking attacking, but no real clear opportunities. Newcastle with the best chance so far.
It's a weird one, this though, isn't it? Because both teams. I mean, I imagine that Newcastle will be like fully focused on this one because obviously they're dreaming of getting into the top 4. But from a Manchester United perspective, they're in a weird situation, aren't they? There's no jeopardy around them finishing outside of the top 4. There's also no chance that they'll win the league. They are sitting in a weird sort of no man's land.
They got
Came out of your hoodie, man.
feathers. Yeah.
Spitting feathers, isn't he?
Yeah, feathers touch there. Beautiful. Yeah, I think United are not in a dangerous position. You always want the points, but they are in a middle ground where you're not fighting for first or second. You're not good enough, clearly, but you're not bad enough to come fourth or
I
fifth.
can't believe how many points Arsenal are ahead of Manchester United now. Do you remember when they were sort of neck and neck and you thought that there was a world
It was
where...
that week or so where we lost to them, drew with Palace.
Yeah,
and we
the
had
Palace, that
Southampton
Elise
result in the house.
last minute free kick. wasn't it?
But will that cost United being
But
in
I
a
think, look,
kind
I
of-
think the reason why it's important for us to maybe win today and make sure we definitely don't lose, but maybe win today. And the games this week, we've got Brentford and Everton coming up. If we win those games, the Premier League games around the time when we've got that semi-final against Brighton, when we've got the games against Sevilla, it means we don't have to go into those games all guns blazing because we've got the luxury of building that cushion up and making sure we're
Yeah.
okay. What we don't want to be doing is
Fighting
when we've
tooth
got the
and nail.
semi-final
Yeah.
and that, we still have to fight in the league because
Yeah.
it's touch and go. So that's why I do think a win here today would be huge for the rest of our season because it means we can.
Yeah, it means you've made top 4,
Yeah, you
effectively.
can-
I think
chill
history's
out a
important as well. You got to go to St James's Park like you did with Scholesy scoring big goals, Wayne Rooney. You got to go there and beat these lot. It's a
Losing
statement
5-0
from where
there,
you are.
Losing 5-0.
You got to
We
beat these lot.
lost 5-0 there once.
You're
Philip
more than good
Albert
enough to beat
dinked
these lot. It
Schmeichel.
shouldn't be. You should be smashing these lot.
Really? Were you born then?
When? What?
95 that was, isn't it?
Yeah.
Were you born?
I was about 1 year old.
Jesus.
So Newcastle would be desperate to win here because they're dreaming of the top 4. So they're worried. If you're a Newcastle fan, you're preoccupied with Tottenham.
If this game was later in the season, we'd probably want Newcastle to win.
Yeah.
stop Liverpool
Stop
and
Tottenham and
Spurs and all that
Liverpool,
game. But because it's too
early.
hard to go,
Yeah,
we can't go.
You could fall off. You lose a couple of
Actually,
games.
I'll take that back. I don't want Newcastle to win. I don't want them to win anything. I don't want them to get Champions League for sure. Them lot are mugs. I'm sick of their fans already. They ain't even done anything.
Yeah.
Especially that Bolden fella.
Yeah.
God.
Oh,
You keep
always-
replying to him on Twitter. You got to
Yeah, I need to stop
Did
because I'm
you?
going to build a monster.
I left a message
He
for him
replied.
on Pitchside's Instagram account.
Yeah, short course he got it.
Did you see? He got annoyed.
Yeah, did he?
Yeah. The clip started and it was Theo Baker talking. The clip continued and it was Reeve talking, and the clip ended. I was like, hang on a minute. The geezer who makes these TikToks and makes them all about him hasn't featured in this. This
That's
is the
because we've been
first
bullying
time.
him for the last 2 weeks.
This is the
about it.
first time he's ever not been on a TikTok.
I think we've put other people onto it. So for a week or two, he's going to cut it out
Yeah.
and then go back to it again. Like when we're like,
Every
looking-
clip-
Next week
My
it'll be, just him,
Instagram
it'll
feed.
be a monologue of him.
Every clip
2-hour
opens
monologue.
and it's just him
Yeah,
banging on about
He was like that in the pub last night. I was in the
Yeah.
pub with him last night. I said Aston Villa are a much bigger club than Newcastle, mate. The guy only shot himself. And they are, by the way, European
and all
champions.
you did is say facts.
Yeah.
They are a bigger
You
club.
literally just said facts.
Newcastle haven't
Did he
won
go mad?
they haven't won a league title since 1955. I mean, this is
No, that was a cup.
yeah. When's the league?
That was a
When's
cup.
the last time they won their own league? I don't know. It's
Chelsea won
only
the
80
Chelsea won the
eight
league in
decades.
55.
8 decades. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, I remember because when you won it, it was like 50 years
Yeah,
from your last
55,
league
05.
title.
Yeah.
Great header from Varane.
What's the stat about Chelsea that up to 2012 Spurs had more trophies than you up to 2012?
Tottenham have a lot of FA Cups.
I know. I just saw a tweet about it.
I don't know. No, but
I don't
mean-
know if everyone else saw Buvey's face when he asked that question.
No. I was
He
just
was
asking
elite.
your opinion.
No, I mean it's not an opinion if it's a fact. I don't know.
Yeah.
Tottenham
Up
won.
to 2012.
Tottenham have won a lot of cups.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Yeah. Back
But
in
just
the
But I
not
think we've
recently.
equalised it now. Or they might be one ahead of us.
Also, like if you gave
think they're
points for
8-7
what
up.
trophies they were, you'd have more points.
Yeah.
You know
I
what
mean,
I mean?
they've only won 2 league titles, and by 2012 we won a lot more than that.
Yeah.
So actually, I don't think.
I just
don't
wanted
think
your take
I
on
don't
it.
think it would be true.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be true. Also, if it's true, it will be true to you.
What do you mean?
They would have won more than City as well. If it's
Why
true.
you bring it on me? I'm bringing up a thing about Chelsea Spurs.
Because Chelsea have won more
North
trophies.
London
than-
rivals
Chelsea,
or London
in 2012.
rivals?
Chelsea in 2012 would have won a lot more trophies than City.
Yeah, and before you
I'm not, I don't care about
you
trophies.
had
as a
that
City
money,
fan.
yeah.
I don't care about. I don't care about.
Blackburn had more leagues than you.
Yeah,
Premier
alright,
League.
Yeah. Well done.
So,
Well
yeah.
done, lads. Just trying to get your observations on Chelsea. You bring it back to City. It's low from you, lads. Okay, it's very low, below the belt.
It's a
some
very
would say.
weird way to set parameters for a debate, though.
And also,
Up until 2012, Tottenham. What? What's that got to
I
do-
just saw a tweet
Up
that went
until
viral.
a date that's
Tottenham
very
love that, though,
specific.
don't
to
they?
you.
They go between January and
Yeah.
December,
They
we're
love
top
that.
of the league.
That's such a Tottenham thing.
But the league's
Tottenham fans-
between August and
Tottenham
May.
fans love
now.
that crap. Tottenham fans are so bad for that. They go, if the league went from January to December, we would have won the league
Or
3
calendar
times. in the
year.
Premier
We were
League.
top in the
Yeah,
calendar
yeah.
year of 2017.
Consecutive calendar years, mate.
Yeah.
Consecutive calendar years, we would have
That's
won
real,
the
That
league.
one's real.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Do you know when you celebrate New Year's Eve? Does anyone else do this? Because you know our lives revolve around football. You know when you celebrate New Year's Eve,
I
do you
don't think I
struggle with
celebrate New
it?
Year's
Like,
Eve in-
because my year actually runs sort of August to May.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Like, you know when-
June's gonna be weird, isn't it? June, July.
Yeah, my
No
year
tournament?
is August to May. Whereas, you know,
Mine
when
is July to May because I did a
you
pre-season.
do pre-season, yeah. I'm very much an August-May kind of guy. And then people make me celebrate New Year's Eve in December. I'm like, hang on a minute.
So what are we going to do, lads, for June, July? We need to get some suggestions for what we should
Yeah,
do.
we should have like you
pre-season.
know how like
Host
there's
a
a
football tournament.
Wow.
nah, and do live
Wow.
shows. That's
About
the
what,
one,
though?
boys. Us. Just
Do you know
us.
what there is? It's the Women's World Cup in Australia.
All right, who's going?
Roy's, you go out there, mate. Yeah, I think Roy's covers that. Roman reporter Rory Jennings for the
No, we
Women's
can
World
do
Cup.
what I've watched alongs is what I'm
Yeah,
suggesting.
you do that, yeah.
Only
will.
problem is
Oh, yeah.
early hours.
Early
Yeah,
hours, but I'm
I can't do
dedicated.
it. I've got sleep
dedicated.
cycles. I've got sleep. I can't do it.
I'm
Sleep cycles.
Yeah, but I'm dedicated to the football, my first love.
That's good. That's good.
So I'll be here. Will you?
No, because I've got a dedicated sleep pattern that I can't break for anything. I do. I've got narcolepsy. Why is that funny?
Do you know anyone with that?
I don't know.
What
Do
is
you?
Do you?
Isn't that
No, I
like when
don't,
you
thankfully.
have sex with
Not
dead
anymore.
bodies or something?
No. That's necrophilia.
Adam, you know we're sponsored by. You've got 2 major brands on board now, mate. For
Yeah,
God's
that's,
sake,
that's
lad.
why they sponsored us.
On behalf of Adam McKola, I apologise deeply and fundamentally about what he just
I
said.
love that Adam's confused narcolepsy and necrophilia.
I just
I
talked
thought
about
he was
sleep
admitting
patterns.
to banging.
Fuck you know. I mean, it's dry.
You
chat
tell
from
me you
innit?
like to go to funerals and that. I just wondered
What do you mean?
why.
What do you mean? I would like to go to funerals?
Yeah,
like
you
that?
do like that.
No, I don't.
No, you told me that one of your
literally-
best hobbies was
I
funerals.
literally don't like it. Who likes going to funerals?
You told me that.
When?
Yesterday.
Says it makes you feel alive. Is what you told us.
said one of the best drinks you'll ever have is a funeral.
I remember you telling me about someone with narcolepsy slagging them off.
What did you say? I don't even know.
This stream's going downhill with you two lads.
He sends me, it's his face. Bro. Sometimes I don't even see what happens.
These two lads, and they're older than me, by the way. I'm the youngest guy here. I'm the inexperienced. I'm learning from these two professionals. They've been in the game. Adam keeps going on about 20 odd years. He's been in the game.
I've been here 10 years.
10 years, fantastic. They're amateurs on the circuit. It's embarrassing. I'm keeping the professionality of this stream going. Yeah, I am.
Professionalism.
Yeah, the same word. I'm going back. Okay, we got who we got on the ball now. This is fantastic. Delo, right back. And he's playing the ball in now. This is what people are tuning in for. That's not your dead chat.
Do it.
All right, here we go. We got who's this running on the ball? Fantastic. We got Anthony. Anthony now on the ball, whips it in. Terrible ball. Terrible ball.
We got Usyk on the ball.
I can't see the TV. Well, for some reason, fellow studio didn't invest in a big TV. We got
Mate, that's a big enough TV. You can see who it is now.
I can't see that.
You can see who it is when you know the player.
Flying off my bad eyesight now. Yeah, cheers. But yeah, fantastic ball there from Trippier, I think. Oh, what is that? What is that? I can't see. I don't know that.
Fantastic ball from Trippier, I think.
That ball went straight out of play.
But this is it's an even game. Even game, innit?
By the way, join our Super 6 League and F pitch side.
Where are we at in terms of numbers? Can we see live numbers for how many people in our league? And if you're watching, make sure you join our league. It's Super 6. Club S6 is the code to join. The Club S6. Join our league. We're at 1,200 people before the stream. Where are we at now? Any numbers, lads?
Almost 1,300.
Oh, 100 people since I last said that. That's good influencing, lads. Oh, it's soft, innit? It's classic.
I could be on for my one.
Bruno diving around. Death, taxes, and Bruno Fernandes rolling around like a proper melt. That is the three certainties of life, lads.
Jack Grealish plays for you.
Bruno Fernandes is the most unlikable footballer in world football.
Oh, he's got the ball.
He's unlikable.
It was a foul.
He's so unlikable. It
wasn't a foul. He did go through the player, but he got the ball.
He's crying, moaning. That is so weak.
Oh, actually, he hasn't got the ball.
He doesn't have a shout there.
Did he get the ball?
Do you know
crying?
Jack Grealish has as many assists as Bruno Fernandes this season now.
Yeah, he's right.
Grealish has been class this season.
I think Bruno's one of the most overrated players of all time.
No, he's
so overrated, Bruno.
No, he's not overrated.
He's so overrated.
He's not overrated. He's underrated.
Is he
because of
world
mugs
class?
like you? Yeah.
No, he's not world
class. Does he start for Real Madrid?
It depends what your definition of world class.
Top 5 in his position?
No. But he's a very good player. He's a very good player having a very good season.
He's not world class.
He's a class player.
I'll take that.
No, he's a very good player. Captain Manchester United as well.
Well, it doesn't mean much these days.
Barcelona and Real Madrid would have him though.
Yeah, sit on the bench.
Nah.
He's not starting ahead of Gavi, Pedri. He's not starting ahead of Camavinga. Modric. What?
You're just thinking of players, aren't you? He's not starting ahead of...
I'm thinking of players that play in midfield for Real Madrid and Barcelona.
He's not starting ahead of Camavinga.
Yeah.
Is he there?
Cruz, Modric. I was going to keep going on if you weren't laughing.
He said Thomas Gravison.
Yeah.
Oh!
What a strike. Longstaff.
Longstaff's trying to prove. Remember when Newcastle asked us for 50 million for him?
Yeah.
First of all, why were we inquiring about him? I don't know. Second of all, who asked for 50 million off?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah. You occasionally you get that, don't you? You get like a player who just has like a really good 6-7 months or whatever, and people start like
Gordon.
Anthony Gordon, good shout.
Where's he today?
Yeah,
I don't.
Shocking.
I still don't know what
he was so bad against City.
Yeah,
so bad.
Do you know with him, I will never like him. No matter what happens, no matter what happens to him in his future, I will never like him. He basically went on strike when his boyhood club were facing relegation.
Yeah,
like that. That's just about as bad as it gets.
Where are the standards today, lads? Where are the morals?
I just can't believe he did that. I just honestly can't believe
there are no morals today.
No, but that especially. Also, as a young man, you know, like 5 years earlier, he would have been a fan. 5 years earlier, he would have been in the
even less than that.
I mean, that's why everyone loved him, because when he came through, he was, working hard. He was the fan on the pitch type.
He's nowhere near good enough.
Anthony.
Wow.
It's a lovely little touch there.
That Bruno.
That's the ball. Oh, lucky lad. Good play by Anthony. Delo got down the right-hand side, swung a ball into the box, but it was just ahead of Marcus Rashford. That's what you were looking to do, weren't it? Where has it gone?
What?
You're commentating.
I'll let you do it, mate. You're gassed about getting a 0-0 with Newcastle United. You're shitting yourself that you don't lose to these lot.
This is Buvey commentating.
Who's
that?
It's a good.
I can't see, lads.
Good touch that.
I can't
Who's
see,
that? Who's that
especially
on the ball?
especially on the
It's a
far
great
side.
play there from Marcus Rashford. I think.
Who's that?
Come on, Newcastle. That's what I say, lads. Come on, Newcastle.
Yeah, I don't really want Newcastle to
You
win.
shouldn't support Newcastle. We
I
shouldn't.
do.
You know why?
Yeah, unfortunately.
We shouldn't want Newcastle to get Champions League.
No.
The quicker they do, the quicker
yeah,
they...
accelerates everything. Yeah.
We should want
God,
them to stay out
Fantastic touch there.
of it. Isaac.
Isaac,
great.
is
What a
it?
player he is. And look at his pace now off the ball.
Brings
Look at his
Maximan
pace.
into
Give
the
him.
game.
Give him.
Maximan hasn't released it.
Oh,
Gone for the
oh,
Willock.
Oh, he's got to score.
Oh, Maximan went for the wrong. I'm not gonna say.
That's the right. No, for me,
might
that's the
jinx
right
us.
ball.
I don't think
It
he
looked-
played it to him. I think he was lucky with the pass.
Oh, right.
I think he was
I thought
very
he cut
lucky
it
with
back
the
sort
pass.
of thing.
It was a terrible
He
pass.
should have
And
played
it
in
just,
Isaac.
watch what happens. Look at his touch from Isaac
Great
there.
touch from Isaac. Held off Martinez. Got the ball down. Got the ball out.
That's
his
quality.
feet.
Right, but look, I think he's looking for. He's not looking for the player that eventually. Yeah,
Well, maybe he
Cutback,
was.
isn't it? That looks
nah,
like a cutback.
I don't think he's cut it back to
Unless it's a
Willock.
major deflection, that is a cutback, and it's just a terrible finish. That looks like the wrong
The
pass.
effort looked worse than it was. It
That is
just
the right
went
pass.
No,
over.
you have to hit the target in that situation. You're 8
No,
yards
but it
out
looked
against
like it
Manchester
went like-
United.
Yeah, it's
Rolls,
terrible.
like,
Like,
it just went over.
Yeah, it's inexcusable to hit that over from 8 yards against Manchester
Yeah,
United
I
when
mean-
you've got the freedom of a penalty area. Like, absolutely outrageous. Especially when your two teammates have done so well to get you in that
Go on,
situation.
Rafa.
That touch from Isaac, wow.
Do you think he'll be about Willock when they really start spending, which presumably will be this summer?
You know, sometimes players stick around and be
No,
on the
of
bench,
course.
and they'll because he's young as well. And also you got to remember these teams are probably going to be signing predominantly foreign players, so you need to keep your English quota up.
That's a good
And
shout,
he's
yeah.
one of them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Although I feel like they'll sign somebody like
There's a reason
James
like
Ward-Prowse
Scott
as well.
Carson stuck around for so long.
No, but I
you know
feel
what
like a Newcastle signing, particularly for Eddie Howe, will be a James Ward-Prowse type player.
Scott McTominay.
Yeah, that kind of
Second,
player.
please.
No
give,
way.
give me 50 mil.
He's not that level.
Ward-Prowse they could sign.
He's not that level for me.
See the 2
He's
goals
not
against
Newcastle's
Spain.
level. Well, Ward-Prowse.
Take him 50 mil.
Newcastle borderline Champions League level club. No one's ever come in from before. Aston Villa sniffed around. There's a reason he's still at Southampton, lads. I'm not taking the free kick gas.
The reason he's still at Southampton is because he signed the contract.
Well, and that maybe his level is lower, bottom half Premier League level kind of player. That's where I think he is as a footballer. I don't think he's a top 4 midfielder.
I
me.
think he could be. I think he's a better player than Willock, for example, who's currently playing for them.
I don't think so. As a long term, I think Willock isn't.
I think he's a better player than Longstaff, for example, who's currently playing for them.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. I don't know. It remains to be seen if they're even a Champions League club. They're currently, they're not in the top 4 at the moment.
Newcastle will be wanting Leicester to go down because they want Madison, don't they?
Tielemans.
Everyone
Who signs
wants
Tielemans?
Yeah, they'll be going for 10 million.
Barnes.
I like there's something about Harvey Barnes. I just don't get.
Oh,
He
mate,
shows
he's
a
a good
lot. He
player.
shows a lot of
Very good.
talent, and then
He definitely leads.
Is it
He's
the
definitely
injury
not a
record?
championship player.
no, of course. I'm
Like
talking
when,
about
when you
what's
think
that-
about the
what's
when
that
you think about the
ceiling?
players that they're gonna, the only geezer that will be left there is the fellow with the David Luiz haircut. There'll be about 6 players left. They're all
Well,
they're all good
says
enough
what
to play in the
they-
Premier League, aren't they?
handball.
No. His hands,
Handball.
his hands were both there like that. And I hate that defenders have to defend like that now. Oh, Vouty. Oh.
Like, don't you think? When you think about the players that like Leicester get raided,
Yeah.
they get raided. If
Tielemans
they go
is
They'll
down,
down,
aren't they?
get raided
Tielemans.
hard if.
and Didi,
Pereira's a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
fullback.
But then, lads, we're saying all these players are good. They're going to get relegated.
yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
but-
circumstance. Like Harvey Barnes at another club does well. James Maddison at another club does well, and Didi is
That's true. That's true.
What is it? There's a current crop of wingers.
Anthony's played well in this
Gordon,
game.
Anthony,
What are you gonna
Mudryk,
say?
Pepe a few years ago.
You
They're
can't.
trash.
You cannot compare.
They're terrible. Where are the Damien
Anthony
Duffs of the world?
to
Where are
Mudryk.
the even Pires when he was on the wing and stuff like that? Or Lundberg? Where are these lads? These kind of.
Pira is one of the best who have ever played a game.
Yeah,
I know.
But where are they?
The
Where are
football's
they?
changed.
Wingers are-
hasn't
Look
it?
at Leao at AC Milan. Someone like that.
But
you know
we
what I
haven't.
mean?
I think what's happening is as well, or has happened over the past
Look at that pass.
few years.
The passage just played
There
there, you
isn't-
mob.
There isn't a.
Anthony,
People don't play that
Outside
system
of
though,
his foot,
Booth.
chipped it.
Like you know the Arjen Robben role that doesn't really exist on a
I know.
football pitch
It's,
anymore.
yeah.
It doesn't really
That's
exist.
because your wingers don't have to get back anymore. As much.
But also your wingers
Not
very rarely go on the outside anymore. Like Ryan Giggs' job for a lot of his life was
get to the byline.
get to the byline before the fullback, skin the fullback, and then whip it across and hope that Mark Hughes is coming in on it late around a penalty spot.
Football's changed.
That's exactly what Damien Duff was doing, looking for Didier Drogba or Frank Lampard.
Sean Wright Phillips into Antoine Sebersky.
Yeah, Certainly that as well. I mean, that was
Said no one
definitely,
else.
that
That
was
just never
definitely the
happened.
next,
That's why
next
no
thing
one
on
said
my
it.
list.
It never happened. He never scored.
But that doesn't seem to be the role of wingers now. Like when even say you think about Raheem Sterling, one of the most decorated wingers of the recent era, didn't ever do that.
No, and when he got further along in his career at City, he wanted to play on the inverse wing to cut things in and be influential and play that way. And he's not good enough to do that.
What his role, even in his pomp, his role was never skin the fullback on the outside and whip it across for Aguero.
Yeah.
That was never the job, was it?
No.
So I think football has changed a touch.
It's interesting that City probably started that kind of transition in terms of a lot more congested midfields, etc., trying to keep the ball.
Cut in.
But now we're looking at someone like Ansu Fati from Barcelona, who's been linked to Leao. I think actually Guardiola wants to go back to look. We've got Haaland, who's a traditional striker.
You've got to keep doing that though. You've got to keep
going in and out, and it's a really interesting cycle. But I think City will sign a couple of wingers in the summer and go back to bombing down the wing, cutting it into Haaland.
But who are like in the Premier League? Is there an example of a proper winger? At any club, is there a winger? Like at one time say Anthony Gordon was 3 decades older, Anthony Gordon would be a winger.
Yeah.
But now he's a forward, inverted forward, full stop, whatever.
Say Maximin
He'd be a winger.
Cuts in a lot though, but I guess
Is there an archetypal winger in the Premier League at the moment?
Who can do it at the highest level?
We've been talking about it today. Harvey Barnes, bro.
He cuts in a lot.
He's a proper. By the way he plays, I'm on about, not quality. But he's a proper winger. Saka's a winger,
Saka.
He is, but then he's been asked
he's
to
also
do so
part
much.
of a forward three, but he can play.
Cuts in. No, he's more of a. For me, he feels like a striker.
Arsenal fans just saying any.
Yeah, all right, well done. Arsenal fans are in the chat. All right, we know you're there, lads. Congratulations. Congratulations.
No,
All right,
hang on, that's unfair. Saka is a winger, isn't
Saka
he?
is getting goals and assists.
But he's doing so. I think we're just saying an archetypal winger.
So there isn't one. Is effectively what we're concluding here. Nobody plays that. Nobody plays that role.
Sign it by Munich. Yeah.
You know what it is? It's like Marcus Rashford now. He plays as a left forward, right, from the left. Back in the day, he would have been playing a 4-4-2 predominantly. He would have been a number 9.
Yeah, he'd have been one of the two.
He wouldn't have been able because he wouldn't have had the defensive now. Like when you watch. And people compare David Beckham numbers or Ryan Giggs numbers or Perez or whoever to a Salah or whoever else. They forget that those are playing in front threes with 3 midfielders behind them that are covering and doing a lot of defensive work for them. Back in the day, your Giggses and your Beckhams and that, they were that midfield cover, and they also had to protect their fullback, and they also had to get forward. And so the game has changed for what they're even being asked to do. I think Kevin De Bruyne would have been a winger back in the day. I don't think Kevin De Bruyne would have been.
He wouldn't have been part of a midfield two, would he?
Yeah, because he wouldn't have been a midfield.
That's
two.
why he never gets into.
He would have been
11s,
like a right winger.
He's not as good in centre midfield as Rory Keane, but he's technically more gifted. But he's not as. He wouldn't be able to play a 4-4-2 like Rory Keane or Scholes could do. He wouldn't be able to.
Yeah,
maybe we don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting though. It's interesting the evolution of the game, isn't it? And it will be very interesting to see if the next episode of this is going back to wingers. Like we start seeing a more flat 4-4-2 with wingers kind of going on the outside.
The fact City had to go out and sign 2 strikers this summer is a massive testament to the fact that Guardiola thinks we need to go back to a basic kind of loop the ball into the box every now and then.
Also, maybe you look at, for example, with Chelsea. I know they've signed winger-type attackers, but maybe back in the day, your Ben Chilwells and your Reece Jameses would have been your wingers. Yeah. Because now they are predominantly sitting on the edge of your 18-yard box.
Carl Walker's a winger, isn't he?
Across the ball.
Yeah.
And they're getting back, doing all... Like, that's kind of... They're doing what a winger does as a wing-back, obviously.
Yeah, it's interesting. I do find
football's changed. DM's changed it mostly. DM's killed the midfield too.
Yeah.
And then you lost wingers because of it, because then they became a part of the front three. So then you lost that archetypal, we'll get back and get forward bombing. But then it's like, people talk about the 60s and 70s, you have like halfbacks and shit. Like, like, what they were calling,
halfbacks and all that.
Wing half and all that. Like,
Sweeper, centre back.
Outside halves.
Beckenbauer.
So it's like the game develops, the game moves on and that.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Well, this game here is 0-0. It gives us a lovely moment, a little pause, to have a chat about Super 6.
Yeah.
We're going to be focusing on Adam's predictions, see how he's been doing. We need to say thank you so much to Super 6. If you want to play against us, you can do it. Just make sure that you download the Super 6 app and head over to the app and use the code.
The club S6 to join the league. We're at 1,300 people in the league, and obviously, if you want to compete with us, and if you win every round, you get £100 at Classic Football Shirts. Is an unbelievable deal. Let's look at the screen at the moment. We're seeing Adam's predictions.
You know what, lads? I was so close. Yeah, at one point it was 3-0 to Arsenal, and it was 1-1 between Palace and Leicester. I was so close to nailing two bang on.
I'm impressed with the draw. I
lines.
think a lot of people. I know Chelsea have been poor this season, but I think a lot of people saw relatively comfortable at home.
No.
Maybe not Rory, but
I don't see it in the
with
Premier
the Champions League result.
I don't see it
To
in the
lose
Premier League.
2-0, I think you were closer than maybe people expected. That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm still on for a correct scoreline in this. If United can score and get the win, then I'll get a top score myself. Hold on. Why am I in second there?
You two are joint top. You can't celebrate. You're on the same as Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Currently,
so
the table says I'm top. I win the Premier League.
No, but
Currently,
you
the way
don't.
it goes, it's goal difference, whatever it is.
But even if it's going by alphabetical order, I should be top.
No, so it's not then. It's going
It's
on. It's
just
going
the
on
way
some
they've
sort of
made the
metric. You don't
graphic.
understand.
It's not on a metric.
Well, they've made the graphic. You're bottom because
No,
mathematically
I'm
you're
bottom because of the
you're
points,
bottom.
but you're joint top. You can't celebrate like that when out of
Rory,
three,
don't be
you're
bit-
second.
Mate, you're better than that. Don't be bitter that you're bottom and I'm top. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, don't be bitter. Be better, Rory.
Mate, I'm sticking up for you. Fine, you're top. Well done, Buvey. Well done. You won. You're second. Unlucky, mate.
I don't know how. Look,
second out of three.
Super
Useless.
Six, obviously backing the channel. Thanks so much. But I don't know how it works. They're gonna have to let me know. Super Six. But is there a championship for Rory to join? Is there a second division? What happens?
1 week in.
Next season, you'll be playing Plymouth Argyle fans in the second division of
It's one
Super
week.
6 football. What can I say?
It's 1 week in. I now have a tactic. I'm going to be fine.
Next season, you'll be predicting Rotherham results in the Championship. It's fine.
I'm going to be
That's
top of this.
there's nothing wrong with that.
You've now made me really competitive on
Coventry
this. I'm now
City
going to win
versus
this.
Birmingham City.
I'm now
you'll be
going to win this.
predicting.
Don't be copying my results. That's the other thing. You put your results in when
No.
everyone else had done
yeah,
it.
you waited till the end.
Wait
No,
till the end.
I went first, but I typed it into the Google Sheet last.
No.
Can someone check
That's
that?
lies.
No, we can't check that.
Well, lads, I'm top
You're
and
not
Roy's
allowed to
bottom, and Adam, you're second.
And you
And at
can
the
join
moment-
our
fantastic.
league. Remember, you, right? Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. You can join our league. So please make sure that you join. Really excited
By
to
the
see
way
how
as
this is
well-
going to pan out for the rest of the season. And you could win £250,000.
At the moment, yeah, Andy Latte is top of the league for this round, and he currently, as it stands, is winning the £100 voucher, and he's predicted in this game 0-0. So a goal either way would presumably take him off the top. He got the 1-0 correct against between West Ham and Southampton, the 2-1 correct between Palace and Leicester. He predicted Brighton and Brentford to be a draw, and he also got Arsenal's win correct as well. He's on fire at the moment. He's sitting top of the league. That's Andy Latte. But he has got a 0-0 in this game. So another goal would mean he don't get that.
So he's watching this now, totally on the edge of his seat, hoping that nothing happens.
And the winner, if it's Andy or whoever else, will be announced in the podcast. So make sure you're keeping it locked. To that Wednesday, we're going to be out.
Yeah, can't wait. Can't wait. Happy so far with this Manchester United's performance?
It's like
Sorry,
obviously
I have some breaking news, boys.
Ooh.
Podcast is out tomorrow. We're going early because of midweek round of fixtures.
okay. So breaking news: the club podcast is out on Monday, the 3rd of April,
Yes.
tomorrow. So make sure you join us for that. Then the reason being, there's Champions League football this week. So
I need to do something right now. I'm doing this live on air. We really need your help. I've become totally obsessed with the top of the pops around Spotify podcasts. I really want to move up the chart, and the only way that we can do that is with your help. Will you please leave a comment and give us 5 stars on the podcast if you enjoy it? Obviously, don't leave us 5 stars if you don't. But I'm checking it right now, right? I'm checking top podcasts. I'm going to tell you where we are. Podcast by category. And this top of the pops thing really does. I check it every day. I'm obsessed. Okay, we're 5th. Can you please help us bump up even just 1 spot? Basically, please give the club podcast a review and leave it 5 stars.
And listen to it as well, yeah.
And listen to it,
Please.
obviously. Yeah,
Please
that was
listen.
implied, though. No, that was implied. Like, I wouldn't obviously listen to it. Like, I thought that was a given. Like, I wouldn't say just like leave it 5 stars, but don't bother listening. That'd be really weird.
Yeah.
So please help us out. We're 5th. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
We've got to get
who's
up-
above us.
We've got to get
Ben
above
Foster. Ain't you busy trying
Peter
to
Crouch.
get promoted? Keep off podcast, bro.
Peter Crouch,
Peter
Ben
Crouch.
Foster,
Stop it, bro.
Sky Sports F1, and
F1 don't
the Fast and the Curious.
F1 don't
Don't know
count.
what
So we're
that is,
third. We're third in the league.
Fast and the Curious.
Let's take them out.
Yeah, I don't really want to give any publicity. I can't talk about it. Sorry.
Yeah. So give us a review.
Please help us out because I'm obsessed.
Buvey's back.
Buvey's
Well, he
back,
was.
but he's just like flirting over there behind.
Just taking his time, man.
Oh, yes, he's bringing us some crunchy.
No, he's brought himself a
Oh,
Twix.
yeah, let's have a bit.
I'll give you some, lads. Not
very
Adam.
kind.
Now you slagged me off. I was going to give you.
You know
some
Mirindas, yeah. When you're in India, that's like one of the most popular drinks.
You'll divide that, you two.
They are
take
elite.
all of
No, I'm good.
Sure?
Rory can have the whole thing.
No, I'll just
Rory, have the whole thing.
No, I'm all right. Watching the waistline. Moment on the
cover
lips.
the branding as well. Cover the branding. This is an unbranded chocolate bar. And
If they want to get branded on here,
yeah, they have to contact Rory Jennings at the club.
On the wrapper, it says 2-stick chocolate.
Yeah.
It says,
Unbranded Lidl chocolate.
very nice chocolate.
Well, you just branded it by saying it's little.
Oh, right, yeah. I'm
Now
not
you've
good
got
with
two of
brand
these
integration
mugs
and stuff.
eating chocolate down the microphone. I apologise, guys. Welcome to the club. It is half time between Newcastle and Manchester United. It's 0-0. Listen, not only do we have these two idiots here, but also we have NordVPN with us as well. Thank you very much to NordVPN for sponsoring the club. It's been amazing having them with us. NordVPN.com/the club for all their offers, including, what is it, Al? 40% off. 40% off. Absolutely amazing. With 30-day money-back guarantee as well. It's absolutely risk-free, and you get 4 months free.
It's unbelievable.
Well, we're just throwing stuff out
For
there.
the price of a cup of coffee, actually Gales outside the Arsenal stadium where all
It's
the
more
Arsenal fans go after they win every week and they sing their little songs and they get 3 points and they have a Gales croissant. For the price of that, you can get NordVPN, which is the quickest VPN of its kind on the internet. It was Times Invention of the Year in 2022, which is unbelievable. But make sure you check out the link is in the description. Thanks again for helping out the channel.
Will the club win Time Invention of the Year for 2023?
Time Podcast of the Year.
Is there
Definitely.
That? Is that there?
With some of the podcasts out there, some of the football ones, we've got a great chance, lads.
I know there are some.
Because there's 3 of us here and we're competent. We know what we're talking about.
There are some very bad podcasts.
Shocking ones, Dad.
I tell you what
Shocking
else,
football
there's some
ones.
very bad out there. Some very bad football managers, eh, Rory?
Yes, there are some really bad football managers out there, and I mean, the jewel in the crown of the bad managers is undoubtedly Graham Potter. I mean, it's so bad. It's probably the worst it's ever been. I think, like genuinely, it's the worst it's ever been. Like there are various managers that you could put on the table here for context. Rafael Benitez really wasn't a good fit for Chelsea. It was a painful time to be a Chelsea fan. It was awful. I felt so detached from the club. The disparity, fans, manager, owners, players, everything had gone wrong. But even then, I still went to Japan with Chelsea. Do you know what I mean? Chelsea played in that December with Benitez as manager. He'd just come in the November. In the December, we were going to Japan, and I went because I still felt connected enough to go. We got beat because he was a useless manager, but that's neither here nor there.
Big part to play in that.
Japan was part of it as well, yes. But then there are various other managers. Scolari wasn't a good fit. Andre Villas-Boas was clueless. Avram Grant was...
Clueless.
I've not heard that one before. Wow. We were treated to that. That's a bonus.
Well done, man.
That was a bonus for Super 6 and
Super 6.
NordVPN.
So they
You've
have
got
to
that
pay
line
us
there
more
for
for
free.
stuff
You
like
can
that.
use that forever, lads. That is your clip to have on your
completely
TikTok.
accidental as well. I had a bit of caramel. But look, basically, it's got to the stage now where he just needs to be sacked now. Like it's so over.
And what is the kind of look? We talked about Leicester in terms of who could replace Rodgers. Who replaces Potter feasibly now?
I don't think it matters. For now.
So get his whole team out, and you get an under 21 coach.
I don't think the conversation now needs to be about that. I think sometimes when you have something rotting inside the club, when you have a real problem at the club, just get that problem out, and they're two separate questions. Like, if we were to have a discussion about who comes into Chelsea next, say we were to conclude that there isn't a viable option. Say I don't think that is the case, but say we were to conclude there isn't somebody. The person isn't there.
Yeah.
The answer is still sack him.
Can we talk about 2 moments in the game? If I'm Graham Potter, or if I'm Alex Ferguson, if you've got a defender like Cucurella that costs 65 million quid, not Potter's signing, but someone that worked with him, how can you coach him not to do the basics of Sunday League of football, of heading the ball up the pitch, not flicking a ball backwards? If you don't know what you're doing, just go for a throw in with the header. That Cucurella header that obviously let Ollie Watkins in with a fantastic finish. How can you coach him not to make a mistake like that? It's absolutely shocking from Cucurella.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's down to tactics team selection. Like, I don't think Cucurella should be playing.
No.
Like, I don't
That
think,
kind of
I
thing
don't
also
think,
comes down to confidence.
it also
I think
comes
you know
down
when
to
a player's
confidence,
lacking confidence and things, and that's what you ultimately you have to look at the manager, because you look at, all right, an individual. Like I've said before, I don't think Koulibaly was going to perform great in the Premier League, but he's still better than what we're seeing. Cucurella, there's a reason Chelsea, all right, it might have been overpriced, but there's a reason they spent that much money.
Player,
He
good
was
Premier League
fantastic
player.
for Brighton.
Yeah.
So you're looking at all these players and you're going, yes, they may be underperforming. Yes, they may be making mistakes. One of the big ones for Graham Potter seems to always be missing the chances. Like they're missing a lot of chances. Mudryk missed an absolute sitter. You have to put that away. But ultimately, it comes down to the manager's decisions, the manager's training, the manager's team talk.
What did he
the way
get wrong
speaks to
yesterday
the
then?
press.
Just out of interest. Just
No,
to be devil's advocate.
I'm trying to make a broader point here.
Yeah.
The way the manager does all those things, speaking in the press, his team talk, his tactics, his training, everything, ultimately combines to what you see now. The players that you see making mistakes, looking lackluster, looking like they're lacking confidence, that comes down, like that's down to the manager. You know, when people say the players, the dressing rooms chucked him under the bus.
But where does
They haven't-
personal responsibility come in?
the
Graham
manager's
Potter
lost them.
has started a kid who's cost 100 million quid, rightly or wrongly. He's a Champions League level winger for Shakhtar Donetsk. It is one of the most, I'm not trying to wind anyone up, it's so poor, that finish when he's through on goal. It's so un-Premier League level quality. It's embarrassingly bad. There are Championship strikers that hit that ball hard into the corner. Maybe Martinez, who's a fantastic keeper, saves it. How is that Potter's fault that the kind of personal responsibility?
But you've also seen better
Enzo
players miss
Fernandez
similar
was-
chances.
No, not in that way.
You
That's
have.
so mate. We don't see people miss chances like that in that way. It was so
you
soft.
You do.
What, hit a ball like that?
Mate,
that's
one of the
soft.
best strikers that has ever played. Andy Cole, one of the best strikers who've ever played the game in this country, has missed chances like that. Like
Really?
Yeah, of course. I mean,
I say in the sense,
Aguero
I
has.
say in the
Like,
sense that Andy Cole could have missed it. He could have gone wide. He could have hit it too hard. He could have blasted
No,
it
look-
over. Mate, Mudryk just looks so out of his depth in the Premier
Yeah, I
League. He
agree.
looks
I do agree
Is
with
that
that.
Potter's fault that he's been handed someone that isn't strategically viable for the Premier League for your campaign?
The reason why it's Potter's fault and the reason it comes back to Potter is you ask what could he have done differently. So you look at what happened yesterday. I think there are two examples that are clearly tactical, clearly managerial motivated, and they were the reason that we lost the game. So there was a moment when we were losing the game at home, right? We're desperately trying to get back into it, and we adopted a policy of crossing. Like, get wide, whip it in. Reece James, whip it in. Ben Chilwell, whip it in. Good. I've got no issue with that. I think it's quite a good tactic. Chelsea had two players on the pitch who were over 6 foot. So
Who's
that's,
that? Kai
that's
Havertz?
not-
Was it
that's
feeding
not
Kai
gonna-
Havertz?
that's
Was that the idea?
in theory,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But there's two players that are going to, if you're going to throw it into the box, you're going to have to do some adjustments. The other thing is, and look, I don't think that we need to go into a Mason Mount debate here, right? But if Chelsea need a goal, Mason Mount
course.
is very, very likely to
Even on the base
contribute.
level, energy.
Even on a base
Fight.
level. Also, like Mason Mount had more goal contributions than any other Chelsea player last season. So this isn't about
What's that related to
Mason
then? Is that
Mount,
down
right?
to the side?
I think one of the big
His
issues
fitness,
as well.
protecting
Yeah,
him?
Chelsea needed a goal. Chelsea needed a goal. We know that Mason Mount can come on and bring you a goal. We know that he can do it. We saw it. We saw it in Qatar. The penalty that you talk about, Harry Kane missing the penalty. Mason Mount came on, changed the game, won the penalty. Right? He has an impact. Chelsea are desperately trying to score a goal against the mid-table Aston Villa team. Doesn't bring on Mason Mount. Like that is an error.
I also thought it was a naivety,
Graham
though.
Potter had 2 weeks, right, to prepare for Aston Villa at home, and that's what he served up.
There was a
That's true.
naivety in
That's
his
true.
selection as well. You had James and Chilwell in a back three. Cucurella in a back three.
Yeah.
As part of the three centre halves. I think that's a huge problem when you're playing in that game. And to think that someone like Unai Emery isn't going to take advantage of that, with the players that he has, is a big problem. But ultimately, I think the issue with Chelsea comes down to, I think Graham Potter's a good coach. I think he still could go on to be a success somewhere. But ultimately, he's out of his depth at that football club. When you hear him saying some of the things that he's saying, it's because he's not in control. He doesn't know how to handle the situation he's in, and he's scratching around for an answer. Yesterday, I heard him say something about the XG of McGinn's shot.
Yeah.
It's like, bruv, Chelsea fans don't want to hear you talking about
Did
the
you hear him
XG
say it
of
was a
McGinn's
positive
shot.
performance? Did you
No,
hear
I
him
know,
get
like,
positive?
these
Like,
sound
we
like
got beat
David
2-0.
Moyes things, you know what I mean? You can say that at Brighton if you go away to Chelsea and you draw 0-0.
Yeah.
And you've missed a few chances and you go, oh, you know what? That's a good point. We should have won though.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool. But when you're at Chelsea and you're losing at home against Aston Villa, no one wants to hear about how you were unlucky or.
I think the issue for him, for Chelsea fans, is that he's very likable as a person. I think he's very well respected.
What's likable about it?
I think
nothing.
The way the way he handles himself, just because he's not a winner, and I think he's not right for Chelsea. I think he's a very well respected coach.
I don't think he's particularly likable. I don't think he's particularly well respected. I don't think he's particularly.
He's well respected. Okay, maybe for me, he's a well respected, good Premier League level coach.
But that's
He's
a
done
problem.
Good things abroad, which
And you know when you see
common
some
for
of his
English coaches.
comments, bruv.
Yeah.
That's because he's scared of the dressing room.
Yeah, he's
scared of
he's
the
not
reaction.
a Chelsea manager.
He
He's
has
not a
to come
Chelsea
out
manager.
and blow smoke up their ass
Yeah.
and say he thought it, because he knows if he comes out and speaks the truth or even half implies that they're not playing well
Yeah.
enough, they're gonna.
But that
He's
is-
even
you
further
can't-
down the.
You can't expect a 45-year-old bloke who's coached for 10 years at a decent to a good level, Premier League, Europa League with Ostersons, of course. You can't expect him to change his whole mantra at Chelsea. That means that whoever hired him didn't see the right fit. It's like us bringing some random podcaster on to talk about football and they've never watched football. It's not if it's not a right fit. It's not a right fit.
That's a bigger
I think it's one of
conversation.
those
There's
things that
something
you
in
don't know
as-
till they're in the job, though.
I think there's something in that. Though.
I think you could have told me a year ago that he's not a Chelsea manager based on what Chelsea fans like, the kind of fight. We talk about Diego Simeone.
I've suggested
He's never
he should
managed
be
Chelsea.
England manager and stuff before.
Yeah, but Chelsea's a bigger job than England.
Empire.
Chelsea's a much bigger job than
That's
England,
true.
and a much harder job than England. I think that coming into Chelsea in the circumstance that he did, look, I think it was quite a noble experiment, but it hasn't worked. So now Todd Boehly needs to acknowledge that it hasn't worked, and I don't think that's going to happen. I think that the ego of a billionaire is going to keep him in his job. I think the fact that a venture capitalist billionaire will have to admit he got it wrong. Remember, he was on a huge contract. You know, he's the third highest paid manager in the world.
Yeah, he's the second most expensive transfer of a manager ever.
Yeah.
In terms of that fee behind Nagelsmann.
So he's come in, he's earned so much money, he's changed his entire life, but it hasn't worked. And the experiment has been interesting on some level. Chelsea tried to change who we are on some level, but it hasn't worked, and now we need to get back to winning ways. So Boehly needs to acknowledge that he got it so wrong so early, and he's got everything wrong. In fact, Todd Boehly, everything that he's touched. You know, you've got the Midas touch, right? It's whatever you touch turns to gold. Yeah. Whatever the opposite of that is, that's Todd Boehly's touch.
It's Medusa.
Medusa, right? He's
Turns to
Medusa.
stone.
Yeah, turns you to stone.
But that's not touch, that's looking with her snakes and all that.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Medusa has snakes around her head.
Snakes
and
in
all
her
that.
hair.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway, that's what Todd Boehly's got. He's got it all so wrong. But I've got a terrible feeling that he's not going anywhere. I mean, we saw in the aftermath of yesterday that, you know, the team were booed off at home.
Would it make sense to sack him now, though? Like,
Yeah.
shouldn't you just wait for the summer anyway?
No.
Made
No.
whatever the
You got to
season
sack him.
is.
You got to sack him last night. Every day that goes by is a waste.
For me, you keep him in the
It's a-
job as long as
it's a
possible. For
way-
me, I think keep him. I think it's a noble project. I hope he stays as long as possible.
course you
I think the big problem for Chelsea is, I know you've just alluded to it, is the money that
You need to sack
they
him before
gave
Real Madrid.
Brighton. They have to give him if they sack him, and who do they get? Like, there's a-
Yeah.
What you do is now
Nagelsmann?
you admit that, no, you can't, it's a skateboarder. Not that. That's not
Who is it
gonna
then? Who
fit.
is it then?
Boxing
Jeez, you wanna
to rock it.
But we've asked the
Skateboard,
question.
mate.
You've been unable to because there
Yeah,
are
I
so
think
many
that point
limited.
Tony Hawk-
There are so many limited choices. It's hard to say.
In terms of if we were going to explore the next man, Zinedine Zidane would be on my list. Diego Simeone
Is he feasible,
would be on my.
though, right
No,
now?
I don't, they're all
Yeah.
feasible for Chelsea when you've got this amount of money.
Nagelsmann
You're
is a
offering
mixture
London.
of feasible
Not him. Not
and
him. Definitely not
good
him.
enough.
Nagelsmann, man. Definitely not him. A fucking 35-year-old.
Really and truly, you
skateboarding.
and Spurs are racing to Nagelsmann.
No,
Yeah.
no, he's Tottenham. He's a very
No,
Tottenham. Geezer on a skateboard. I'm not having that. No, absolutely not.
He's a
that's
former
what the
manager of
race is
Bayern
at
Munich.
the
Yeah, got
moment.
sacked. Was given a
Yeah,
tic tac.
for me,
was
wrongly.
given a tic tac when he hadn't actually done anything wrong. They could see what was going to happen. They could foresee that it was going to go
You don't
wrong.
get
It's a very
Nagelsmann.
impressive
The
strategy.
next choice is Rodgers.
Former Chelsea.
No,
Yeah. No, you're right. Former Chelsea.
no. He's not
former
popular at Chelsea. Though.
He's former Chelsea.
He's not former Chelsea.
He is.
I mean,
Mourinho.
Did he used to work? Was he employed by
Mourinho.
Chelsea?
He's worked. That doesn't really make.
Was he
you,
contractually employed by
Okay,
Chelsea?
But by
Football
that
Club?
logic, he's former Swansea. He's got an awful lot. He's
He
got an
was
awful long
destined for
CV.
Chelsea until he went Liverpool, I think, and then it kind of.
He was coach at Chelsea, so there's history
Swansea, Reading, Celtic,
there. Yeah,
Liverpool.
I'm just saying at
like,
Chelsea in particular.
Mate, he's former everything by that logic. And I can't. No, Rodgers definitely doesn't get a go at Chelsea. Absolutely not. Nagelsmann, 100% not. I'm looking for a proper, suave,
But you said Zidane. Zidane doesn't want to go there in a million years.
proven winner.
Simeone doesn't want to go there in a million years.
Simeone, I think. Zidane, I agree with you.
Someone's going to say to Simeone in the summer when he leaves Atletico Madrid, "Do you want to coach Mudryk? Do you want to do that job?" No way.
I don't think
He'd rather
that's-
be a road sweeper.
Nah,
with
but
all
if
due
you
respect. And
flip
there's no
it
issue
on
with
its
that.
head, Buvey.
I don't think that's
If you
the
flip it on
question,
its
is
head,
it?
someone goes,
Mudryk's the
do you want to
Mudryk's
coach this
awful.
team that's just had 600 million spent on it and they've got
Do you want
other
to
resources.
Yeah, but
People don't go,
it's
yes,
entrenched signings. You have to deal with someone like Cucurella cost 65 million quid. You have to use him.
Buvey.
There is no flexibility.
Let's explore it properly then, rather than the conversation doesn't go, do you want to coach Mudryk? The conversation goes, do you want to earn an absolute fortune, live in London, manage one of the most successful teams in England, have a genuine opportunity of winning the Premier League, earn yourself a fortune and be given a fortune to spend on a team?
For me, that's
do you want to coach
that's
Mudryk?
less exciting than Mudryk. The Mudryk question for me is so shocking.
Look, Zinedine Zidane, it would be my dream, but I don't think it. I think you're onto something in your facetious way. I don't think he wants to manage in England. I don't think he has any real dream of coming to Chelsea, and I don't think that one will happen. But Simeone, I think I could see. Simeone, I think there's a world where it could happen.
The issue is that you're saying about Potter leaving now. That's what I'm saying. So is it just that some coach at Chelsea for the remainder of the season? Is it just Potter to the end of the season?
To the end of the season.
That's what I'm trying to say.
No. Get him out now. Look,
Luis Enrique.
Mate, put John Terry in there to the end of the season. I don't care about the end of the season.
Please do that.
That's a shout.
Please do that.
I don't care until
Give
the
it
end
Terry
of the
to the end
Yeah,
of
but
the
Terry's
season.
done well at
Terry-
Aston Villa as a coach.
Are you on a wind-up?
Terry to the end of the season.
John Terry was part of the team that got Aston Villa
back in
promoted.
the Premier League. Yeah.
That's not a bad thing to say in your CV.
No, look,
Well,
I'm
Adam
being,
was questioning it. I don't know why.
Between now and the end of the season, Chelsea
He's
have
part of the team that got Aston Villa promoted.
You seem to see, like, I was laughing at the suggestion, and you seem to seriously.
I think it's a good suggestion for John Terry to the end of the season. I'm not saying long term.
Mate, all Chelsea need to do is get together and find themselves for the Real Madrid game. It's the only thing that matters now.
Mate, you get banged 10-0 at the Real Madrid. You're holding on to it. You're holding on
that's
to
not
it.
the point. That's not the point, though. The
No, I know what
point, the
you're
point
trying to
is, all I now care about is Real Madrid. And let's do everything we can to not let that scenario
And that's
happen.
how the
Maybe
whole club will be, and that's how the players will be thinking.
So, with Graham Potter there, I think it's going to be very... Look, I think that Chelsea can win in spite of a bad manager, but it's going to be more difficult. I just think get him out now, get to the end of the season, however you get there. It doesn't matter. I don't care how you get there, just get there. And by the end of by the time the season ends, Bowley, Egbali, they should have had enough time to come up with the perfect answer, whoever they deem that.
I think you're so right about Simeone, by the way. I hope I
think
didn't
it
come
fits
across
at
as terms
Chelsea.
of, that's a great fit.
People don't like
I love
it
him
because
in the league.
People don't like it. They go, they don't like the way he plays football, anti-football and all that. But I don't care.
One
He's
that's
a winner.
been suggested by the chat boys, obviously his job's very much on the line at the minute at Real Madrid, but would you have Ancelotti back?
The trouble is with going, but yes, is the answer. Of course, Ancelotti coming back is something that I would be open to. But it feels slightly regressive. But yes.
Also, did he pull up trees with Everton? I know they were top. of the
No,
league
he's
for
won a
like
European
week
Cup
or
since
something.
then, though.
Yeah, but the Premier League's Premier League, isn't it?
Yeah, look, I would have Ancelotti back anyway. His Chelsea team was sensational. He scored over 100 goals, won the double, our only ever double. I would love Ancelotti back.
He
at
might
Chelsea.
actually want to, on a personal level, say he's got unfinished business.
We love
there.
London as well.
You've got to
You got
release
sacked so
that
early.
ball, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, lads. I
You
know
guys
we're-
are dry. United are so dry, aren't
But
they?
McTominay is dead food, bruv. He's ran with that ball, yeah. He's watched Anthony running down the line, and he's delayed it till he's offside. Bruv, play the fucking ball. Jesus wept, man.
But yeah.
Absolute
For me,
donkey,
McTominay
bruv.
should just keep hold of the ball instead. That's what I
Yeah,
think
and
McTominay
fuck
should
off. The Rangers or something.
do. He's not good enough for Rangers.
Yeah, he's that level.
He's Plymouth Argyle for me. Plymouth
Nah,
Argyle.
he's
And fair play to
Rangers
them.
are
How are they
Plymouth
doing
Argyle.
in the Johnson's Paint Trophy?
Jinxon's Pank.
It's the Papa Judge trophy.
They lost 4-0.
Oh, pie face.
Oh, wanky,
Come on.
wanky.
Get on your train back to
What?
Exeter
Who
St
won?
David's,
Wanky,
pie
wanky,
face.
wanky, wanky
Exeter St
wonder.
David's for you, big boy.
Big boy.
Why have you got beef with such shit old teams?
West
Bristol,
Country, innit?
Plymouth.
West Country, innit?
You're just scrapping with absolute bombs out here, bro.
They're doing well this season, Plymouth. They're top of League One. That's good for them.
Yeah, they were above Bolton, aren't they?
Huh?
They were above Bolton, and Bolton have
Yeah,
just beaten
exactly. Yeah. What's Anthony doing then? Here we go. He's beating Dan Burn. It's been a good fight today, Dan Burn versus Anthony. And he softly passes it into Nick Pope's arms. That's great value for.
them. We've been watching
Anthony.
Mudryk.
That's what I'm trying to say. There's a crop
Glade
of
Martin.
wingers that are all shocking. Who's the biggest flop? Mudryk, Anthony.
It's not Anthony. Stop
It's either
saying
Anthony or Mudryk.
Can you
It's
do
Can
that?
you do a
Definitely
poll
not
in the
Anthony.
chat?
On-
Anthony or.
Richarlison's the biggest flop.
But
as well, by
he's
the
not a
way.
winger.
But on a serious one, but can you?
Anthony's not a flop.
Oh look, I've seen nothing in Mudryk to suggest that you're wrong. But I'm just. Is it not too early for this? Do you not need to give him at least a year? Like this time next year, we can have this
Do you
conversation.
know what worries me? When a player comes You know, Joe signed for Man City. So I know it's a random one. He wasn't very good.
I wanna
But
ride
he had the
with
physicality. He might have skied it over the bar, but he hit a ball hard. It wouldn't be very good. But he had a physicality about him. I look at Mudryk. He's got absolutely. I don't think he's that quick. He's not that strong.
But when you say you look at him, he's played 8 games.
Yeah, but I know. But this is
He's probably played.
You're going too soon.
He's probably played.
Mate.
I know this is what we do.
Mudryk has
you're
probably
going way too
played.
soon.
Honestly, he's probably played less than 300
I'm not
minutes
even
of Premier
trying to
League
do it
football.
to get a reaction out
No,
of any
I'm just. I don't think you're wrong. I'm just
look at
saying that he's played about 300 minutes of Premier League football. I'm making it up, right?
Yeah.
But I'm working it out. 8 games, loads of them as a sub. 300 minutes of football in the Premier League. That's what you're basing this on.
Even the mentality for me, I think if you isolate
And
the
remember
moment
when
where
he
goes
came on
through
his
goal,
debut, and after 5 minutes, he was like,
Liverpool.
"Oh, this guy's sick."
Liverpool looked great.
Yeah, he was like, it was
deflection off
amazing.
James Milner's knee.
No,
wasn't
no,
it?
you said he
Nutmeg.
was amazing.
No,
Then he
me?
spent-
What are you on
since-
about?
yeah,
me?
since
What?
then-
What are you on about?
Since then, though, do you reckon there's anything in this? He came on against. Obviously, we signed him from Shakhtar, right? And he didn't really know who Graham Potter was. He played against Liverpool and he looked good. Then he spent some time with Graham Potter, and his performances have gradually got. Is there something in that? Is there something in bad coaching?
I was going to talk about the isolated moment where he's through on goal. I know it's you get nervous. It's a big moment for Chelsea.
You mean the chance against Villa?
Yeah, so you're through on goal against Villa yesterday for Mudryk. If you hit it, try to get it top corner, you sky it, you put power behind
the
it. I
pass
get
back
it.
was terrible.
But it was so poor that I think even his mentality is just you got to bend your foot around it.
Do you know what also really upset me with that one? You know, obviously we were going for Arsenal, in fact, were going for Mudryk, and then we pounced, and they ended up getting Trossard. You know that exact chance, Trossard pings at him.
No, but if Mudryk was at Arsenal and Trossard was at Chelsea, Mudryk's having the season that we're seeing now, and Trossard's missing that chance. I promise you, bro.
No, he's not.
The problem's
No
Chelsea
way.
and Potter and the environment. It's not
Trossard's been a
Mudryk.
top-level player in the Premier League for 4 years.
Mudryk would be class for Arteta's Arsenal right now because he'd be going into a great environment.
Not for me.
And you'd be seeing that Mudryk you saw in the first game against Liverpool when he came off the bench.
Are you not taking all of the responsibility away from the footballer?
A little bit. But at the same time, I do believe that he's a new player in a new league in a new country. The move to Chelsea for him came late. It probably wasn't the one that he ideally wanted. And then when the move does come, he's playing for a different team. That team's got a manager who's under the cosh. People are calling for his head. There's about 100 other different new players in the dressing room. No one's leading that dressing room. You've got some key players that have been maybe leading the dressing room that were out injured. So you're looking around like, all right, the manager's under the cosh. He's probably not even leading properly. You've got new coaches that are probably out of their depth a little bit. You've got all these new players at a club that they don't know. You've got new owners.
But this is a lot
Arsenal,
of
if Mudryk
macro.
went into Arsenal, I promise you.
Yeah, but this is
he's
macro
probably got
analysis.
the
We're talking about all
same
these
similar
different
goal contributions to
circumstances.
Trossard.
I'm talking about the pure sport of football, of getting a ball. You're through on goal. You're 12 yards out, or whatever it was, or 15 yards out.
No, because you're taking...
And you bend it, you hit it hard, you hit it hard and low. You can't even do that.
You're taking the fact that people
Really?
are human out of the equation, bruv. That's
Mate,
what you're
he's not-
taking
he's a
out of the
he's a
fact.
professional
He's a
footballer.
human being
Mate,
who's only as good as your environment. You're a product of the environment that you're in, bruv. If we
what
come
his
here
environment
every
is-
week, and Elliot calls you a mug as soon as you walk in the door, he's in your ear calling you a...
He does do that.
He's not been in that environment. But he's not been in that.
He
Mudryk's
really
not been
does
in
do
that
that.
environment for 2 years.
He doesn't
He's
give
been
you
in
a
the
drink, doesn't
environment
give you
for
any
2
food.
weeks.
Doesn't let you go toilet.
Some of them.
You'd be stressed out,
There was
bruv.
a game against Fulham where
Your performance would be affected.
Adam, there's a game against
is what I'm
Fulham
trying to
where I do, but I think you're taking away the responsibility for someone who's meant to be. Maybe he's a £5 million gamble or a £10 million gamble for 100 million quid. I'm sorry, you want him to hold the ball up, take a touch. Maybe you can't always beat a man. You throw on goal. Maybe Martinez is a fantastic World Cup winning keeper, makes a save. I get it.
But
mate,
The
that
thing I'm trying to
pass
say
back was
is
so
he
bad.
can do those things, man.
Where?
We saw Marcus Rashford, bruv.
when?
A year ago, you two mugs were saying Marcus Rashford's finished.
Yeah.
Never going to score another goal.
Yeah.
And I was saying, bruv, this season's an anomaly. The club's a shithole. Ralph Rangnick's there throwing everyone under the
But we've
bus.
seen it from
Like,
Rashford. When have you ever seen it from
everything-
Mudryk?
But
when?
You're not listening to
Real
the point
Madrid,
I'm making,
Real
bruv.
Madrid in the Champions League. I've got the internet.
Sancho,
But we
Marcus,
saw Rashford do it when he was 18 against DiMatteo.
Look,
Turn
do-
real
do-
Premier League
do you know what,
defenders
Booth,
inside out.
Booth?
We've seen Mudryk do it against lads
No, but-
in the Ukrainian league.
Booth, where I sit on this, right? Everything that you're saying, I think is true to a degree, but I just think it's so extreme because he's played 8 games. You can't write him off like this. He's played 8 games. This time next year, you know, honestly, what are we? 2nd. If we're sitting here on April the 2nd of next year and we're still talking about Mudryk like this, then you are completely correct.
Yeah.
But I just don't see how the jury can have
Because
come
I
up with a
think I
decision
look at
already.
the context. All right, Caicedo goes to Brighton for what is it, £1 million or whatever, and maybe that doesn't work out. It's $1 million. It's Moneyball kind of for nearly £100 million. I think
the player doesn't
the
pick their
Chelsea
price
fans,
tag, bro.
football fans, you deserve more. If that's £100 million standard of football, and he's passing the ball back to Martinez, I'm sorry, but
You're focusing on one
You're
point.
focusing on such a.
He might
It's a
go
massive-
score the winner
but
against Real Madrid next week.
I'm focusing on a massive moment because that's his job is to go through on goal and score goals
But
like that.
we saw Jack Grealish have moments that weren't particularly impressive, didn't we, when he first signed for City? But nobody wrote him off.
No, because there are moments where he'd hit a ball, it'd be saved. He demonstrated Premier League level
No, because
quality.
that was different.
He hit a ball and it was saved. Isn't that
lads,
exactly what happened with
but
Madrid?
You're both,
Hang on, he
you're
hit a
both
ball and it
being,
was saved.
you're both being obtuse. I don't understand. I don't.
No,
You are because Grealish, 100%. He got what four or 5 goals last season. Completely, you're right. But he was beating, Matt. He was beating guys. He's a Premier League winner. He was showing levels of Premier League standard. Mudryk is not even showing that, in my opinion. I'm not even trying to
he's
wind
not.
up, like,
He's not. He's definitely
first
not.
touch is
You're
shocking.
You're completely correct.
Yeah.
And he should have done better with that chance. And his first touch isn't looking good. And he looks like he's totally devoid of confidence. And we saw that both when he played for Chelsea and when he played for the Ukraine against England. He was subbed after 60 minutes or whatever. He didn't play well. My question isn't that you're wrong at the moment. My question is that you're saying
I
that
can't
you're
be wrong in the future. Yeah. I think all I'm trying to say then, I think you're 100% right. You could obviously, anyone can turn it around at any point. We've seen players, re-galvanize their careers 10 years later. We get it. But for me, he's so bad now, he'll never be at that level, in my opinion. In my opinion.
Okay.
Seriously, he's that bad at it,
I
in
guess
my
this
opinion.
time on the 2nd of April 2024,
Buvey's
one of us is right.
He's a
Basically.
0 out of 10. He's that bad as a signing so
You
far.
know, when I
Give him a
think
number
about-
out of 10 then. Genuine now, no gas.
You know what? I can't give you a real number.
Oh,
Right.
why?
I never watched him play for Shakhtar.
I
But
watched
what
him
I'm
play
telling you
against
is, I
Aston
think it's
Villa. He was
unfair to
0.
judge him so soon, and I'd say that about anybody in
100
this
million.
position. Yeah, he might never live up to the price tag, but he still might be a good signing.
I need to pull something up that the chat have mentioned. Buvey said Mudryk was slow.
Did you?
He's the fastest Premier League player.
Why are you bringing that up?
Is that what he said?
No.
You say
misquote-
so
why are you-
much crap that
Why are
we
you
don't even catch
misquoting
it.
me? Why are you misquoting me? I said I don't think he's that quick. He's not Leroy Sané quick. He's not Raheem Sterling quick. He's not that
So
quick.
he's
quicker
faster
than-
than
he's
Raheem
not.
Sterling,
He's quicker than
who's in
Sterling.
the same league as him.
Sterling's not playing much for Chelsea. It's not about that. He's not raw pace.
I'm just
Mudryk.
going to
He's
let
not.
Buvey speak. Buvey, I need to hear more from you.
Just keep digging
They've
his
just
hole.
told us that he's the fastest player in the Premier League, and you said he's not faster than Sterling.
There's different levels of pace. There's different levels of pace. There's different levels of pace. It's not even a dumb thing to say. Oh, yeah!
Oh, fuck off.
Come on, what a goal!
You know,
Winner for the goal.
Isak's been like asking for this. He's been like for the last 5 minutes. Every
That was a
time
good
he's
goal.
gone anywhere near the fans, he's really been pumped for this. Picking the ball up deep, driving forward.
Willock's missed some
Really
shit
hungry.
today as well, so
He couldn't miss
good
that
for him
one
to
though. He's
take
on the
that
line,
chance,
wasn't
yeah. Who was it that got the cross? Was it Isaac?
he? Isak nodded it back across, I think. Yeah. Oh, there's that little
Fucking
thing.
fringe.
Yeah. He's a Wally, him.
Yeah.
He's a real Wally.
He's a melt.
Complete Wally.
After all this, I would love VAR to rule it out.
That's
Really
sickening.
milking it, isn't he?
That's
He's
sickening.
doing the
Really
arm- he's doing
milking
the
it.
Henri thing, isn't he?
You can't do the
Calm
Henri
down,
thing.
bro.
You can't do
That's
that.
embarrassing. You're 5th in the league.
You can't do that. Like that, you can get away with that when you're sort of Ballon d'Or nominated and your team's winning
Yeah.
silverware.
That's Thierry Henry at the Bernabeu, isn't it?
That was a good cross
Yeah.
from Bruno, I think.
yeah.
In the yellow kit, and
Yeah,
he's the best player in the
when
world.
he's leaning
top,
on the
top of the game.
Yeah.
Just nutmeg Ramos
Yeah.
in the corner, and Willock's doing it. He scored a tap in from 2 yards out. Yeah, like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Embarrassing.
Henri at the Bernabeu,
No,
he's done.
I respect it more.
Nah,
I respect it. That's like you doing that now, goals. I like it. I like it.
I do that every time I score. That's 50 times. That's 50 times a day, mate. That's how many goals I get. Wow.
That's not a good goal, that, for us to concede.
Is there any? I've kind of never thought about Manchester United not making it into the top 4. Is there, Elliot? Have you got the league table? Like, is there any chance that Manchester United
Not
don't
not
make
given Liverpool losing that.
Tottenham? Are they? Is there a
We've
chance?
got 2 games in hand on Spurs.
So it goes
one
Newcastle on 27 games played, 50 points. Manchester United, 27 games played, 50 points, exact level. Spurs, 28 on 49. Brighton, 26 on 43.
Okay, so there is actually
You know
a
what?
little
Our game
bit
in hand's
more.
against Brighton as well.
So
They
Brighton
beat
beat you.
They could beat us. Yeah.
If you
Are
come
we covering
fifth, you
that?
can
I
never
think we
come
need to
back into
cover
the
that.
club.
When is that
If
game?
you come fifth this season, oh my God,
I don't
that
think
is
it's
gold
raining.
dust.
Hilarious. That'd be so good.
Oh, I'm praying to God.
Can you imagine the Ten Hag
I'm praying
revolution?
to Jesus now.
Mate,
I'm
do you
converted
know
to
what I
Christianity.
support for the rest of the season? My season's over.
Yeah.
I support Seville
Yeah.
and I support Brighton. and Man City.
Let's go down to
Not
Brighton.
Chelsea.
Let's have a little holiday
He
in
doesn't
Brighton.
support Chelsea because the mug wants his old manager sacked.
Of course I want my manager sacked. Mate, just like you wanted your manager sacked. Every manager since Ferguson.
He,
Yeah, that's
he
true.
supports whoever's playing
Yeah,
Chelsea.
that's
Every
true.
manager
You
since
shut up.
every manager since Ferguson.
What are you
You
pointing
Every
go on about
manager
Louis
since
Van Gaal,
Ferguson.
Mourinho. Yeah, I remember you.
David
being like
Moyes.
that.
David Moyes.
I've never wanted a
Ralph
manager
Rangnick.
sacked to City fans. I'm a real football fan. Unlike these gimps over here.
Oh yeah, you were well happy with Stuart Pearce, were you? Well happy.
No comment. We didn't
The
win a
Alan
game.
Ball era.
We didn't win a game in about
Pierce used to
4
cut
months.
his own hair, the mug.
Alan Ball.
Stamped on Ronaldo. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Yeah.
He was a nasty player.
The Pearce.
Nasty
Yeah, he was
player.
nasty to watch as well because
Yeah.
he was crap.
A good player. A good player, Pearce, wasn't he?
He's on
you're
about
talking
Alan Ball.
Oh, Ball. Yeah, I don't
Ball's
know.
terrible.
Not Alan Ball. What's his first name?
It's Alan Ball.
Michael.
Alan Ball, yeah.
Michael Ball.
Alan Ball.
Alan Ball's the singer.
Alan Ball's the
Everton.
manager that we're talking about at City.
No, we're talking about Michael Ball's the left back who stamped
Oh,
on Ronaldo.
yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
Alan
yeah.
Ball's the singer as well.
Who's the Balls that
the
played
big
for
fat
Everton?
singer?
No, who's the one? Who was the one who did Pedro Mendes with his elbow at City?
Ben
Ben Thatcher.
Yeah,
Ben Thatcher, yeah.
he's
That was
a nasty
terrible.
player
That was
as well.
horrible.
Terrible.
Nicky
Played for
was like-
Millwall. He's a Millwall player.
That was
wasn't
like front page news and that was mental.
Yeah, Danny Mills, Nicky
Well, it
Weaver, we had
cracked
loads
his
of dodgy
face,
players.
man.
Yeah, yeah.
Cracked
Pedro
his
Mendes
face.
is the one that scored at Old Trafford and Roy Carroll scooped it out.
Yeah.
Mendes had a few of them.
That was Mark
is that
Clattenburg.
game?
That was Mark Clattenburg.
I remember thinking that's gone.
Yeah.
That's gone in,
Yeah.
hasn't it?
Yeah.
What?
That
No?
that haunted Clattenburg. Like, I think that was just the one, wasn't it?
Hmm.
Like the ball, because it wasn't. Is it over the line?
It was
like
dead.
it's hit the net.
The fact even Roy,
It's-
like most keepers, don't go to scoop that out.
Nah.
because it's already in.
It's such a goal. Yeah. Yeah, it's such a goal.
It's funny though that was.
1-0 down, Man United.
I didn't realise that Manchester United could
The
potentially
thing
drop
is,
out.
you
Yeah,
got.
they could drop
I think
out.
Spurs and Liverpool play each other. Liverpool got loads
Yeah.
of like. So the fixtures mean that should be okay, but especially
Mate,
with the
if
games.
Spurs and then Newcastle keep picking up big wins. Wow.
Tottenham are the
I
problem.
can't see
You know,
Spurs
if this
doing that.
Stellini,
They might have a bounce.
you know, if this Stellini works,
It might
isn't that
work.
weird? By the way, I haven't seen you since then, have I? We haven't discussed Stellini, the assistant manager, taking over from the permanent manager.
Yeah.
Usually, when a manager gets sacked, the team will leave, don't
Yeah.
they? Almost out of loyalty, the team will leave. Stellini's hung about.
Was he there before Conte?
No, he's Conte's
he
boy.
came with
He's Conte's man. Yeah.
Was it Chelsea?
Yeah, he's Conte's boy. Like
Yeah.
you know when you get the duos,
Yeah.
Fergie and Brian
Yeah.
Kidd or whatever. Like he's that. Pep used to
Yeah.
have one, didn't he? That's Shicky.
Maybe it was
Yeah.
just part of the deal. They were just like, bruv, Conte's clearly not going
We're going to pay Conte, but you got to take.
Yeah, it will pay off everyone if you stay.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Get us top four.
Because we've.
It's a financial decision again. It's just
But do you
pathetic.
think that he will put his own, like, you know, when they line up, it will be very interesting to see if Tottenham now have a new approach, a new formation, a new idea, a more attacking system, for example, or is Stellini just going to be Conte but by proxy?
Yeah, is he trying to see out his contract, or is he trying to make a?
Yeah,
make
is
a
he going to want
stake
the
for
job? Yeah. Well, if they get top four,
I doubt it.
no, I
It's
don't
not
think they can do
long,
it.
so
But
it's
if he
crazy.
gets it, does he keep the job?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's
And if he
interesting.
doesn't keep the job, who gets the Tottenham job?
Don't know. Tottenham are a national embarrassment to all football everywhere for me. How they've handled the situation, it's terrible. And they play boring football on top of it. I mean, some sides you don't always have to be the best team in the league, but
they got
play
Everton
some
tomorrow
decent
night, haven't
football,
they?
lads. For God's sake,
They got Everton tomorrow night.
they'll win that.
Do you think?
Yeah, they'll
Who?
win that.
Everton.
Spurs.
I think Everton win that. We'll
Mate,
get a
new
draw.
manager's tricky. Just because we don't know. It's
Not when
tricky
it's
to
not
predict
a-
something.
Yeah,
But then again, he did well when Conte was ill. Was
yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah, he did
they
do
look
well.
better
City,
actually.
they
did
They look better when
They
they
beat us,
did.
yeah.
They beat City and beat
Yeah.
one another.
And then didn't Conte
come back.
rush back? Conte rushed back from being ill
and then left again.
and went to, I think they played Wolves and they got beat.
Yeah.
And he's on the touchline like no gallbladder, looking all like, and they're like, mate, just stay in bed. The other geezer's wicked.
Like the fella from Operation.
Yeah, just sitting there like that, like pale, mad white, just like trying to have an argument with somebody.
Oh, he's
That's
lost it.
poor.
No
from Bruno.
gallbladder.
That's shocking.
It's not shocking, is it?
What
Why
is?
is
You lose the ball there in a dangerous position. That's
What, you're
terrible.
shocked?
No, it's shocking
deeply shocked.
quality. It's poor quality from Bruno, which doesn't surprise me, Roars. Don't surprise me.
Right then, Super Six.
Come on, Bruno. Oh,
Oh, he flip-flopped him.
Never got anywhere. though.
Bruno just embarrassed Luke Shaw
Mate, Bruno
on national
never
TV.
had the ball after it,
on
so it
national
doesn't
TV.
count.
He did it. He did actually.
You're the kind of guy that puts the ball through someone's legs, doesn't get it on the other side, but claims the meg in it.
No comment.
We've got a new leader on our league because remember the guy that was top of the league
Needed this to be a draw.
needed this to be 0-0. Now Chris Wheeler has taken the lead. He has 1-0 to Newcastle United. So
God, this is exciting, isn't it?
Providing
This is
there
like our own very own title race.
providing there isn't another goal, and we'll have it every single week, so make sure you join our league. Providing there isn't another goal, he wins.
There is nothing that can
£100
happen to
classic
make me
football shirt.
finish further up the table.
Yeah, I said earlier, but I'll say it again. You are in the championship next season of the Super Six Championship, second division.
The next round, I'm coming back strong though.
I don't know, mate. I don't know.
Well, I know. I'm telling you. I'm not asking you to know. I'm telling you. You know now.
You
'cause I
can't
told
predict
you.
6 football scores, let alone predict your
Mate,
own
you
record
got one right
in the future
You got one,
of those
mate,
football
you didn't
scores.
get any score right, just for the
I did.
record. No, you didn't.
I did.
No, you didn't. You got a couple of the teams right. You didn't get any of the scores right.
Yeah, no one. It's hard. It's a hard game, and that's why you win 250 grand if you get
Yeah,
all the scores
but
right.
but the point is, you're acting like you're some oracle here. I've done this. I've done that.
I'm a simple guy. I don't
Hang
think
on,
I'm an oracle.
can I just put this, like, we're gonna all have to be very honest here. All of us combined,
Yeah.
not one of us got one score correct.
That's how hard it is.
But
That's why
it's
it's such
also-
a beautiful game.
Did any of
also-
you?
it's
what did
also
you
how
like
average
having
we
this?
are.
No.
What did you like having?
How
this?
average you are. I'm top of the table right now.
Yeah,
So
but
you speak for yourself.
You haven't got
speak for
one
yourself.
right. You haven't. You literally haven't got
You
one
got
thing
none
right.
right. You got nothing
No,
right. You got
I've got
zero.
the same amount
You got
right as
zero.
you. I got the same
No, you
amount
haven't,
right as
you're
you.
below me in the table.
got the same
I
amount right as
predicted
you.
more results correct than you.
No, you didn't
That's
predict
part of the
any
game.
result correct.
I did.
You didn't. You
I
predicted
did.
the
I
winning
predicted
team.
a couple of
That's
draws.
not the
That's why I
game.
got 4 points.
Not the game.
It is the game.
Not the game.
To get results and
The
scores
game. No,
right.
it's not the game.
Yeah, it is.
No, it isn't.
The game. Can someone in the back room tell me what the game is then? Because I've been playing Super 6 for years. I'm a massive fan. Thanks again for them supporting the channel. The game of Super 6 is to get scores and results correct.
Yes, and you didn't
okay.
get one score correct.
But I got results correct.
No, the point isn't that.
I got 4 points for it. So
Can
what
you
did I
not-
get correct then, mate?
It's impossible to predict the correct score and not the correct result. You idiot!
No,
They're the same thing.
I got Brentford Brighton to draw, but it wasn't 3-3. I predicted 1-1.
Right, so you got it wrong then.
So I got the result
So you got
right.
it wrong.
That's why
No, you didn't. You got it wrong.
Elliot in the back room. Who's above Rory in the table?
Yeah, you're above him. You got
Thanks.
the result.
No,
You didn't get it right. You can't.
Thanks.
No.
No.
I feel like my parents are separating again.
Unlucky Royce for being bottom of the table in the inaugural. You're bottom of 3 people. There's only 3 people.
Mate, you're
there's only
you're
2 you have to
joint
beat and
second.
you're bottom.
You're joint
bottom
second
of 3.
You're joint second of 3.
That's
That's embarrassing.
Honestly,
Joint second of 3 is pathetic.
you're in the bottom.
You're
of
joint
3
second
We're
of
going
people.
to
three.
share it like the Community Shield.
You're joint second of 3.
I'm first.
I need
of
if
3.
Manchester United come through and win this.
You're not first.
Can someone put the table on the screen, please? Table on the screen. Can we do that, please? Thanks very much. Look at that.
That's
Lads,
not-
who's top of the who says number 1 next to my name?
That shouldn't be the case, boys. What are you like doing?
Shouldn't be the case. Trying to change information.
What
That
was
is
your
a fact.
golden goal, you mug?
I'm not saying.
What was it?
I don't want to say.
What
you
was
check
it?
out them. No, I'm not saying. All I'm doing is looking at the leaderboard. I'm first above both you lads. Okay.
You're not
Updated.
above me.
Oh.
Wow.
Huh? Yeah. See, top.
You're not top. You
What's it
can't
like
be-
having 0 points? You work in the football world
Think what's it
professionally.
like?
You've been on some of the biggest football channels going. Okay, and you got 0 points. 0.
And yours?
Can we just zoom in on my? This is how big the 0 is for Royce.
Yeah, that's how big.
Zoom in, lads. There we
Yeah.
go. We've got Elliot zooming in now. Look. Zoom in. Look at that. I can see you lads through the 0.
It's like Buvey's arsehole.
It's
that.
like it's a big fat donut from Krispy Kreme. Look at that. 0.
Yeah.
0 points for Rory
you're-
Jennings. 0 points for Rory
Big fat
Jennings.
donut
Look at
from
that.
Krispy
at that.
Kreme. It's like
Look at
looking in a mirror for you. Big.
He gets personal when he's losing. He's very competitive. He gets personal. Look at that. 0. Okay, let's get back to the football, lads, and not Rory Jennings.
Tony
losing.
Marshall dribbling it out of his goal. I love that.
1-0 for Newcastle. What a result this would be. 10 minutes left.
Oh, this is a counter attack.
Is this a highlight or is this
No, this is
live.
live football. This is a highlight.
No, but it's just a repeat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we just do the highlight. Mate, that's what we should do. We should come and do a live stream of Match of the Day. Do all the games. Like
Yeah, that'd be great.
that'd be great.
That'd be fun. I want to do that.
I want to do that.
Who's down?
They're slowing
He's
the game
awake
down.
though. Look, he's wasted. Look, you can see him.
slowing the
I
game
can see him in there. He's under there like that. Yeah, right.
Doing a David Luiz.
Yeah, you see that?
Yeah. His eyes popped up.
Yeah, it's just like.
What a save that is, by the way, from David De Gea. Who got kicked?
Oh,
Shaw.
he got kicked in the head, has it?
Bruno's gone to clear it. I think that's a
Onto
Great
the bar. And then is it Shaw?
Shaw and McTominay. No, Bruno.
Oh yeah, he did get kicked in the head. Bruno Fernandes kicks him in the head and then just plays on as if nothing's happened. Filth.
To be fair, he's gone for the ball.
Yeah, but then he's
At a
kicked someone
reasonable height.
someone in the head, knows he's kicked
It's
him in the
not
head.
at head height, is it?
Bang.
That's what I hate.
Kicked him in the head.
Actually, that's my...
Definitely at head height. That's higher than my head.
No.
not
He's
low,
put his
is
head
it?
down to feet level.
No, are you crazy? The ball bounced up.
Bro, he's put his head down waist
Couldn't
high.
kick that, could he?
Nah, that's bullshit.
Couldn't kick it.
That's what
You
I
have to
hate.
head it.
When the
have to
referee
head
gives a
that.
foul for putting your foot high when the player's heads come low. Don't come low,
His head's
bro.
not low.
Don't
His
put your head
his head
down
isn't-
here
his head
and then
isn't low.
expect-
That was normal
yes,
height.
it was low.
That was
It
normal
wasn't-
height.
his
for
head
him.
wasn't low. That was higher than my
In a
head.
6-yard box, if you put your head there, you're going to expect to get
Oh,
kicked.
of course not.
Yeah.
He couldn't kick it. Look how high it is.
Let's watch the replay.
Let's watch the Willock goal.
Mogs, mate.
Wait, let's have a look.
Chip to the far
That one-
post. Bang, wallop, crash.
Oh, it's a great goal.
Snap, crackle, and pop. Look at that wallop.
That was a header. That was at head height.
That was
one.
a header. Look.
Look, that's head height,
So
Adam.
if he got kicked in the head there, that'd be fine for Adam.
That was head height there, Adam, when you're 1-0 down, mate. Okay,
Yeah,
you're
head
1-0
height.
down to Newcastle United.
He didn't even get kicked that bad.
No, well, we knew that he was all right. We saw him in the...
Head height. Isn't it? Yeah.
I don't think Adam knows
Slow
what
the
head
game
height
down.
means.
Yeah, what does head height mean to you, Adam?
It means 5'7".
Head height is up here, bro, where I am.
No, that's not my fault.
If someone puts their head low and someone's foot is just off the ground and it hits,
No, but it
that's
wasn't.
their fault, bro. Don't put your head down here.
No.
Yeah, it's
You've got to
correct.
go for the ball, though,
Gotta go for
in
the ball,
whatever
mate.
way you can.
Right, then don't be surprised to get a boot in your head.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
yeah,
my point.
exactly.
You shouldn't get a foul. You shouldn't be
No,
rewarded
yeah,
for putting your
You're
head
right.
down.
Adam's right. Roy's wrong.
Yeah, correct.
That's another
I'm
L.
definitely
for Roy.
correct. Another
That's
L.
0 points for Roy's in the debate leaderboard and the Super 6 leaderboard. Thanks again to Super 6 for sponsoring the channel.
I hope Arsenal win the league.
You know what's funny? Yeah, he's been saying Arsenal going to win the league this whole time.
Yeah.
And when City win it, he's going to go, I told you.
Yeah, I knew it all along.
no.
Haaland, 42
I won't say I
goals.
told you. I've said Arsenal
It
win
was
the league.
inevitable all along.
I was the first person in the world. I'm not even joking. In the entire world,
No.
there wasn't one person that said Arsenal were going to win the league before me. In the whole
Not
world,
Zinchenko.
nope, not one person. No, in the entire world, you will not find one person that exists on this planet that saw this come. Don't pull faces at me.
No, I don't think
That
you
saw
did.
this go. No,
When did you say it? What
I
date?
said it in October.
October? The
October.
season started in
I was-
August.
Oh, in October.
The season started in
yeah, but
August.
nobody was saying it then. In October, I did a video with Robbie, and in that video, I said, I think you're going to win the league. And he was like, what? No way. Of course not. Top 4.
Yeah.
October. Mate, October. Nobody saw it. I'm the hunt for Red October. Nobody saw this.
That's because
prior
it
to me.
didn't happen.
I had the vision to see it. You lot didn't see nothing.
I saw Robbie saying that Mason Mount was overrated yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't allow it.
Not good, was it?
Robbie, though, doesn't know what the word
That's
overrated.
what I thought. I thought he doesn't.
Mason
know-
Mount's
he
going to
doesn't-
go Liverpool. I think it'd be a
I
really
think
good
Calvin
signing.
Phillips is overrated. I thought no one rates the guy. I mean, I'm the one who thinks
Mate, he
he's
said Emerson
rated.
Royale was overrated.
Yeah, it's like no one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they were as bad. Smithy and Joe Tomlinson. Like, you know, when I finished that video, I came off that video and I was like, God, I'm going to get butchered here for these. Like, the comments are going to be really cruel on me because in the room, I said something and everybody like laughed at me. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh God, this is going to be a bad 24 hours on the old comments. Thankfully, I was right.
Yeah.
But they were all so preoccupied.
Yeah, I
like,
noticed that. All the comments were backing you.
yeah, but like Joe, Adam, and Robbie, I went Virgil van Dijk's overrated, and the three of them were like, no.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's slightly weird because that was one of my like trump cards. Then they went, who's next? And I went Trent Alexander-Arnold, and they all went no. I was like, oh my God, this is like I'm getting this so wrong
Yeah.
because they're all like,
No, yeah, you played the game right.
yeah.
They went for players that they just don't think's good.
That aren't rated anyway.
Yeah.
And do you know what else I
Like
found really
Spurs
funny?
fans hate Emerson Royale.
Do
No
you
one,
know-
no one
Do
rated
you know,
him.
do you know like, I love doing that show, right? But do you know what cracked me up? Smithy obviously has like a friendship and works with a lot of the players. He was so like preoccupied to go, just for the record, this is Rory's opinion. It's not my like, you know, every couple of minutes.
It's like on the news when someone gives a...
Yeah, that does not.
Oh, fucking hell. Tony Marshall scored there. No, I would have had my wiener out.
Please don't do that. We've got sponsors.
Yeah, and I think that gets membership.
you're
He gets a lot of membership.
Membership
You're on a
withdrawn.
dodgy line. You've been talking about necrophilia earlier. Now you're getting
No,
your,
that was you that was
getting
talking
your
about
tiny.
it.
You're getting
You said
your
you were
tiny,
mint at it.
Get
That's
your
what you
tiny
said.
penis out. Don't get your tiny penis out on the street, please.
That's what you said. You said
no
you,
one
were-
wants
you,
to
were-
see your
you were
tiny
world
penis.
class at
It's not an
that
issue
stuff.
for me. Look,
What's that,
I'm a
N-word?
liberal guy, but for people at home, no one wants to see your tiny penis.
Do you know? I don't think.
That's 'cause it
do you know a
doesn't
lot
exist.
of the time? Do you know a lot of the time when the tiny penis is suggested.
Yeah.
You know, I've heard it isn't the tiny penis.
Mm.
It's like a bigger vagina. That's what it is. You know, if a girl says it's a tiny penis,
Yeah.
I saw this on Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's often a broader vagina.
What is? What do you mean?
The issue.
He just did West Side.
Yeah, it's not that the penis is.
You're
small.
saying guys with small dicks have got.
I'm saying that maybe the dick
He's
isn't
saying-
small. Maybe the vagina is big.
Oh right.
This is how it's
Yeah.
been. Mental gymnastics you
Yeah.
have to do every
Yeah.
time you get told.
No,
You're
it's-
too small.
it's-
That's the
episode
king of
of-
spin right there. That's Alistair Campbell tells himself every night. That.
Oh,
There we go.
Here we go
Alistair
again.
Campbell, he gets him in.
I was going to say John Major today, just to
Well, you've
throw.
said it
I'm
now.
trying to do one politician every stream, lads. Just
What?
throw it in there.
I like it. You keep it slightly more cerebral.
Yeah, yeah. Unbelievable from United. They're throwing on Palestri. What do you make of Palestri?
Wait, he had
No?
no idea who that was. And
no,
then
I
the
did.
name came up.
No,
He's
I was-
got to look, they're
I was
throwing on.
waiting to throw to you, Roars. No,
Palestri.
Roars. I was waiting to throw to you, mate. I was going to say, Roars, what's your opinion, being obviously a massively successful football pundit on YouTube? What's your opinion on Palestri, mate? Cut to Rory.
I think he's a kind of
Wait, wait,
footballer
wait.
that
Forget
I
opinions.
always... No.
What's his first name?
Huh? I've asked, why are you going back in time? Talk about the lad that's come on. I've just said Palestri.
Do you
All right,
know what?
what's your opinion about Palestri? You know nothing about him then. You know nothing about him.
His class the other day set up the goal.
Do you know what I think about him? Adam?
Yeah. Go on, you go.
I just think he's a kind of footballer that I always like. He's hungry, he wants the ball.
Yeah.
He's
I've always thought about
he's
Palestri.
always
He's got
good
two,
on the half
two
turn.
good feet. He
Always-
gets up and down the pitch, bombs up and down.
Covers every blade
Does
of
his
grass.
laces,
every blade
ties
of
his
grass.
laces up every day.
Yeah.
Shin pads. Yeah, he got shin pads. What's wrong with that? No, he's a good kid. Good kid. Good egg. And he's losing 1-0 to Man
And
United. That's to Newcastle
mate,
United.
that was
Good
truly amazing though. Manchester United have bought on. Oh, Palestri. Oh, no, there he is, the main man.
No, it's Lindelof. Who's that? Is that?
Yeah, you're right.
I'm right, am I? Yeah. Thank God for that.
Oh,
Cheers.
he's fuming. Look, Martinez.
What a melt. He's a melt, isn't he?
I like that.
Who was it
You
said
don't
he's
know
going to
his
be the
name.
best centre back in world
If
football?
Rory never said, "Look, there's Martinez," you'd have been stumped.
What a melt.
Who's that?
Look at Steve McLaren.
Steve McLaren.
All his
there.
hair's
Go on,
all his hair's
go on,
coming
say
out.
something. Say something about him.
Huh?
Say something about Steve McLaren.
He's a Wally with a brolly.
Yeah. More European Cups than you mugs. How about that?
He's a Wally with a brolly. Can you cut away from me, please, for God's sake? Why are you holding on me? Because Rory's on his phone midstream. We're sponsored by two incredible companies, NordVPN and
downloaded them
Super
both.
6. And now he's downloading some random app. He's downloaded Google Translate to understand where Palestri comes from.
Greece.
Okay. Greece, yeah, I thought that. Great
that's
country.
A howler.
Athens.
It's from Uruguay. it's from Uruguay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought that. Why do you say Greece?
I was seeing if you knew.
Uruguay,
I was
great
seeing if you
footballing
knew.
country for me. Suarez. You're thinking unbelievable players coming from there. Cavani.
He actually specified.
Nunes.
Greece. Yeah, Athens.
No, I was saying that Athens is a great city in Greece.
Where's Palestri from? Greece. Yeah, Athens, I think.
Greece is a lovely country. That's what I
Why
was
did
trying
you
to
say
say.
Greece?
Zeus and all that.
Why did
Mount
you? Why
Zeus.
did you say Greece?
Huh?
Why did you say Greece?
No, because you said. I thought you googled it, and I said, yeah, if he's from Greece, he's probably from Athens. Beautiful country.
You didn't say he's probably from Athens.
Yeah,
You
fair
went-
enough.
Yeah,
that was my implication.
He's from Athens.
It's a beautiful part of the world.
Zeus and all that.
Mount
Tell me
Zeus.
about Zeus.
Obviously, the king of all gods, wasn't he? And he created all the other gods and Hades and all that. Hades, Poseidon. That's beautiful. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, God.
He's
Lives on
watching
Mount
us.
Zeus,
He's,
isn't he?
he's on the club, watching the club.
Mate,
He's
Yeah, why
wrong.
are you on the? Get off your phone.
He's watching us.
I'm watching
why
the
are you
club.
watching us?
It's really good. You should all watch it. It's really good.
How
show.
many people have you got in the
Really good
live?
show.
How many people have you got live?
We've got. Hang on, I can tell you that.
5,800.
5.8.
5.8. Thanks so much for watching.
Oh,
If
you
you're
will
new here,
subscribe,
make sure
by
you
the way.
subscribe,
Please
okay?
click the subscriber button. It really helps us out. We would be honoured to welcome you into this club. Thank you.
Yeah, make sure you're hitting the subscribe button. We hit 118k yesterday. We're trying to hit 120k if we haven't hit it already ASAP. Get hitting that.
We're trying to
subscribe button.
overtake pitch size as soon as possible. Overtake Tom Garrett's dead chat. We're trying to do that as soon as humanly possible.
Mate, that was so funny. Greece, yeah, Athens.
I'm just saying it was a nice part of the country.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Why did you think that Pelestri was from Greece?
What, you
That's
think
so
because they
weird.
went through an economic meltdown in 2008, you were right to slag them off? No, it's not right from you. It's not right from you. 'Cause
Mate,
all their banks
I'm
collapsed.
just curious.
That's not
I'm
that's
just
not right
curious.
from you, Royce. No, that's poor from you, mate.
Why did you think
Well,
he was
because the
Greek?
whole financial system collapsed. You think you can slag off Greece?
Why did you
Okay,
think he was Greek though?
Huh?
Why did you
I thought you said he's from Greece.
No, I asked you.
You said
Greek.
something like that. You did. You looked at me
you
like
just-
he's from Greece. It's something like that. Yeah.
And
that's
you,
fine.
but you
So
knew
it's a
that
beautiful country. You know, take away the whole economic crisis in 2008.
Did you ever find
Beautiful.
out his first name?
Huh?
Did you ever?
I mean, lads, I'm here to watch 11 lads kick a ball around, 22 lads kick a ball around on a football
No,
pitch.
so
with
what's-
you.
you know
I'm
the
not
names-
into, I'm not
We're
into
asking
first
one of their names.
I'm not into first name
yeah,
basis.
why don't you know these 11 men that you want to watch
what-
kick around the ball?
All right, what's Marcus Rashford's middle name then? Adam, cut to Adam. Cut to Adam. Come on, single. There we go.
Marcus.
Oh! He hasn't scored for ages.
Hey,
Has
you're
he?
getting bullied by Newcastle.
What is Pelestri's first name?
Huh? What's Marcus? Okay, what's Frank Lampard's middle name? Exactly.
Harry.
Thanks very much.
Mate, I
Yeah.
don't know.
No, exactly.
But what's
Just admit
Pelestri's
just-
first name?
Admit you don't know. Why do I need to know his first name? He's playing for a side, getting banged by Newcastle. They're going to drop out of the top four. They're a
So do you
Europa
not know
League
his
club.
first name then?
Why do I care about some 16-year-old kid from Uruguay playing for Man United? I don't want to know his first name.
You don't know it?
No. Don't care, mate.
Don't care.
They're losing 2-0. Mate, they drop out of the top four. If Spurs win, that's so
Greece.
much pressure on them.
Greece. Yeah, Greece.
It's my eyesight, honestly. It looked like a Greek flag.
That's poor defending that.
It's terrible. Static.
I don't understand why
Oh, he did get pushed.
it's not foul though.
No, it's not foul, but that's
don't-
why he had so much
I don't
space.
understand why
Lindelof.
you've got Rashford marking Wilson.
Is
It's
it not
Lindelof.
Lindelof, in
It's
it?
Lindelof's
Lindelof's
fault.
on the wrong side. That's
No,
all.
but he's but
he's
he's in
not
front
close
of him. Like you should have someone in front and behind him.
Yeah,
Poor
Lindelof's
defending.
goal side of Wilson gets nowhere near him.
And Lindelof,
Nowhere
maybe
near.
Lindelof just coming on, Varane and Martinez just going off. Maybe that hasn't helped. But
No,
that's
if
poor, that.
you're a player, you're warming up for 15 minutes, you'd be coming on match fit, ready
No,
to go.
You've completely missed the point.
What's the point?
My point is they probably don't know who's marking who's
That's not an
man's
excuse for not
he's
picking
just come
someone
on the
up.
pitch.
Lindelof knew he was marking.
not an excuse, no. It's
Lindelof knew
professional
who he was
football. It's an
marking. He wasn't good
explanation.
enough at marking him. He knew exactly who he was marking. He was marking Callum Wilson, gave him 5 yards of space in the box from a corner. That's pathetic.
Yeah, this game's done anyway. We have a new Super 6 leader. It keeps changing every goal that goes in. We have a new leader. One sec, let me see who it is. Thomas Kennyfick is now top of
So
the
he's
league.
taken the lead at the last minute, hasn't he?
Well, we've got, a couple of minutes plus injury time to go.
So he must have gone potty when this went in.
If there's another goal, he's at it. But as it stands,
This is like the real league table. You know, the Premier League table suddenly just becomes like the other table. This is the proper table. It's
Yeah.
all about this.
but interestingly, the man in third place has 2-1 Newcastle.
So he's desperate for a
So
Manchester
Paul
United.
Hedges is desperate for a United goal right now.
Okay, I'm going to back Paul. Come on, Paul.
I'm going to back
Paul
Dave.
Hedges. So
I'm gonna
Manchester
back
United
Dave
get one.
Benson.
Dave Benson. Isn't he the guy that did that gunge tank?
Oh yeah, get your own back.
Get your own
Dave
back.
Benson
yeah.
Phillips.
Dave Benson.
I just said
Is that
Benson
him?
because you said Hedges.
Oh.
That's the only reason I went there.
Oh my God, this could be it for Dave Benson. Oh,
No.
come on, all the back heels
What's
and you're
Dave
2-0
Benson's
down.
middle name, Ross?
Phillips.
No, his middle name is Benson. Isn't it?
Yeah,
Benson. Dave Benson.
yeah.
His name is Dave Benson Phillips.
Look, if Dave, you're in the chat, mate, what's your middle name? Rory wants to
No,
know.
it's the guy that
Apparently,
used to do
we
the
can't make any
gunging.
commentary on anything unless we know everyone's middle names first.
No,
name,
nobody
surname,
said anything
Fuck
about
you,
where
middle
you're
names.
from, what country, what city you're from. I
Nobody's-
can't say anything these days.
Nobody said anything about.
No, that's fine.
And fuck Lewis Bolden as well. The mug. Pitch side crap. Tom.
Why are we in on Adam so tight?
It's in the
Stuck on
super
Buvey.
chat.
Oh yeah.
We have to do whatever Cal Freezy says because these guys are employees of Cal Freezy.
Yeah, that's
and
why you
they're
turned up in his
completely,
hoodie like an absolute weapon.
Beg.
Well, I took it
Yeah.
off because I think Cal Freezy's
Going
chat's
to
so
work,
weak.
wear my hoodie today.
I took it off immediately after peer pressure from you lads. Great, well worth that.
well done. You
Well
made
done.
Jack get up for that. Idiots. Idiots.
He's had to walk across the whole studio to do that. That's pathetic.
Nice that Cal's watching though.
Yeah, it's
Nice to get a bit of.
it's funny. It's funny. Newcastle turned up today, but couldn't turn up when it mattered in a cup final. That absolute cretins.
Oh no, it matters today. It matters today. This could cost you top four.
They'd rather have top four a lot of
They'd
Newcastle
rather have a
fans.
trophy.
No, they'd rather have a trophy.
They'd chop off a
They'd
bollocks
definitely
for
rather have a
county
trophy.
football.
Mate,
They'd chop off Shearer's bollocks for a
They'd rather
trophy.
have a trophy.
Yeah, but I
There's
think
certain clubs that need a
if
trophy.
they get top four this season, you could accelerate getting more consistent trophies in the future.
Everton, Tottenham, Newcastle need a trophy. Remember, Sunderland have won a trophy more recently than Newcastle.
Yeah.
That was 73.
The Black Cats.
Buvey's brain went.
Say something
something
about
about
Sunderland. Rory said Sunderland. Say something about Sunderland.
Stadium of Light.
Anything. Kevin Phillips.
Sunderland's another.
Play a game, right?
Netflix.
Yeah.
You two play the game, and I'm Timmy Mallet. You
Right.
get the game, right? Things to do with Everton.
Sean
Goodison Park.
Dyche. Oh,
No, wait,
you
one at
pointed
a
me
time. One at a
first.
time. Go.
Goodison Park.
Tim Cahill.
Tim Howard.
David Moyes.
PNR.
You're
Howard.
done. Oh,
gonna
what a
say
good game.
Pienaar.
What a good
I was
game.
going to say Pienaar. That's so annoying.
What a good game.
If they say it when you've got the thing in your head, you're fucked. You can't think of us. Do you know what I mean?
No, you'd be fucked because if you're a professional at that game like I am,
Yeah.
you'd always have like three.
I react
ready.
to what you say as well.
Yeah.
He went Moyes, I went Pina.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's what I would have done. Yeah, you've let yourself down there.
Yeah,
Buzz.
you have.
That's
Also,
poor.
when you think about how much you could say to do with
I should have just
Everton.
said blue, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Blue.
Just
Football.
do with Everton.
Should have just went bath.
No, because blue isn't to do with Everton. Because
They're
blue's to
called
do
the
with a
Blues.
lot of...
Their nickname's called the Blues.
Their nickname's called
Toffees.
Toffees.
And the Blues is another nickname.
Why
as well,
did they
the
call
Blues.
themselves Toffees? Did they used to make?
Everton Mints.
Oh, okay.
So they used to make mints, but they call themselves a toffee.
No,
Something's
the
not making
mint
sense
is
here,
the
lads.
mint is a toffee. Effectively, it's a sugary treat.
Rory, have you got Werther's Originals in your car, mate? Because you're the kind
Mate,
of guy that does.
you can't have a go at me for knowing the history of a football.
No, but I'm not good. I'm gonna go.
You called
I'm
them the
asking
Blues.
you.
I called them the
I think
Toffees,
you're
and then you try and have a
I
pop
think
at
you're
me.
the generation where you have Werther's Originals in your hand glove
I
compartment.
don't. Do you know? I don't
Nah,
really,
he doesn't have Werther's Originals. He has those, you know, that metal round tin, and they got them fruit sweets, but loads of powder on them. That's what Rory's got. You take them out, you got
Shoe
powder
shine
all
box.
over the
barely-
place, all over your jeans and that. That's what he's
do you
got.
know? I barely have any sweets, but do you know? I do like a nice sweet treat, but probably not an Everton mint. It wouldn't be
like
my
a
go-to.
Malwam.
No, maybe not that either. Don't mind a
Starburst.
fizzy.
I don't like all that. The Coke, Haribo.
Fizzy. When I ran the marathon, I had to that's what got me round.
Really?
It's like that and the gels. Are you on the gels?
I'm not having any of it. I'm just going to have a bit of water and that's it.
Really?
Go. Yeah.
Carb loading?
I don't know. I need to think about what I'm going to do, actually. I'm struggling a little bit, to be honest with you. Yeah.
I tried to find your
You're going to flop
link.
this thing, aren't you?
and it isn't pinned on your Twitter.
Oh, I need to pin that. Yeah, I'll pin that. I'll have another go. But if you're watching this, I'm doing the London Marathon. So please donate. I'll put some stuff on my socials. I don't know if the lads can find the link. But yeah, to a really good cause in Oxfam. Running that in 3 weeks, lads.
You know when you say that you're not sure what you're going to be doing, it feels to me like you're cutting it fine. Like you
No,
should know.
I'm-
Someone's
I'm
dad's
running,
got
I'm
their
training,
clothes off at the
but-
football. Fucking hell.
Yeah,
No, but that's a Geordie thing.
That's
Isn't
a
it?
Geordie thing, isn't it?
It's a Geordie
It's
thing.
embarrassing.
They love a top
Embarrassing,
look.
bro.
See, it's a Geordie
Put
thing.
your clothes on, man.
It's a good win
Stinky.
for them.
Imagine being
Clean
at a
sheet.
game, some fella's got his dusty armpit out next to your head.
I've never really understood that.
Fuming, bro.
Do you know? That's culturally, I'm so away from that. Like nobody ever
it's
needs to
cold
see
and
you.
we don't care. Get a
Also, nobody ever
Put a
needs to
jumper
see
on.
your armpits.
No.
Like you know when geezers wear vests and that.
Yeah.
Like in a club. Like what are you doing, you idiot? Get dressed.
You seen that brother on the poker that's always got the vest on? What's his name? Person.
Yeah, I like him.
But he just
Eric
has-
Pearson. Yeah,
when I
yeah.
say the smallest vest ever.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
They come
But
in.
he's just showing off his muscles, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
I like him. He gobby.
I like his when he took on a helmet.
Yeah, when he went like that, he went, "Yeah, I've got them here for you."
So childish. Anyway, Newcastle, well done. Take your 3 points. We'll take the trophies, you absolute shitbags. This is why you haven't won a trophy for 50 odd years, because you only turn up when it don't matter.
It definitely matters.
It
This
definitely
could be the start of the process of you coming fifth. And if you come fifth this season, I pray to God. I pray to God this happens on the club because everyone watching will be watching you come fifth on the stream. Be fantastic. Be unbelievable.
I don't think it will happen, but
It's
that
unlikely.
isn't
of
an
course.
ideal result.
Yeah.
Fortunately for United, Liverpool lost yesterday. Hopefully Everton can do something against Spurs tomorrow so it doesn't look, because we could be outside of the top four, given that Spurs
Yeah.
will have played 2 more games in us tomorrow. So we don't want that to happen because mentally that's not where you want
And
to be.
they'll beat Everton, I think.
Is
Yeah.
that Goodison Park?
I think I know, and Everton's home form is good, and Dyche and whatever. But I just think Tottenham without Conte, you know, sometimes as soon as like a manager isn't there,
Yeah,
the shackles
Kane
are
will
off.
turn off
Yeah,
then.
yeah. Like even when Tuchel first got sacked at Chelsea, we know Potter's dreadful, but they won a few games. Do you know what I mean? Just because like the issues that were there with the previous manager are no longer there.
100%. Thank you to everyone for tuning in today. We will obviously react to this game and react to much more as well in the podcast, which is out Monday this week. It's out on Monday for this week because the midweek Premier League games. Make sure you're keeping it locked by hitting that subscribe button. Make sure you're downloading Super 6 as well. And thank you very much to those guys for sponsoring the show. Club S6 for the league table. Tom won this week. What's his surname, Elliot? Thomas Kinnifick won this week as well. So well done to Thomas Kinnifick. He wins the Classic Football shirt voucher. Get in touch on socials and we will get that directly to you. Remember, every single week you can play against us in our league for obviously £100 Classic Football shirts voucher, but also you will be playing for that grand prize of £250,000. It's unbelievable. Get over to Super 6, download it and join our league. Thank you to NordVPN as well, nordvpn.com/the club. Unbelievable stuff going over on NordVPN. So thank you to those guys for sponsoring us as well. Thank you to you guys for being part of the club. Thank you to these two idiots for being with me as well.
We'll see you on the podcast tomorrow. The podcast is out tomorrow. Check it out.
Thanks very much, lads. I've enjoyed watching Newcastle United smash Manchester United.
Shut up, Buvey.
In a bit.